All right, and with that, we're going to go ahead and dive on into game number 1 of this best of 5 series. We've got Mokomi up in the, let's see, I don't know where he's up in the, I guess probably in the bottom left side. He's going to be as the Ottomans. And we've got SoldieR over in the northeast playing as English in the orange. So what are you looking at here in the first couple minutes to see? I mean, obviously, I think we're looking at to see what English is going to do, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to go for Council Hall? Are they going to go for more of the standard Abbey of Kings?
Yeah, for Ottomans, it's mostly like a reactionary play because, yeah, it's very difficult to be aggressive versus English in the feudal age. But we see SoldieR opening up with a mill, so he's going wheelbarrow and dark age.
That's an interesting play.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that quite yet from English.
I think it's completely viable. But yeah, it definitely kind of... Actually, it tells me he might do a 1 TC all-in because if you're going wheelbarrow in the dark age, you're delaying a second TC, so... You're kind of playing, yeah, economic at first, but it helps you in the feudal age to get onto wood and stuff like that.
Maybe like an all-in. So you think we might see a council hall? I mean, I think Ottomans is actually pretty susceptible to an early push like that too, you know?
Yeah, I think they definitely have ways to deal with it, but it's not easy. Like, it's definitely a very good play for English to take here.
Yeah, they really can hit that timing just right, you know, or they just get those longbows into the base, hit the wood line right when the Ottomans are getting those production buildings up. Yeah, and on the Ottoman side, I didn't see a production building of any sort just yet. Looks like he's just straight onto the gold, straight onto the food. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Other than that, besides the potential wheelbarrow coming in, seems like a pretty standard start to our game.
Yeah, it looks like Mokomi even like overmined a bit of gold here. So with the gold being at the forward position, it looks like he's a bit worried about men-at-arms. So just taking a few precautions there.
Oh, yeah. Man, that's the crazy thing about English is just how much versatility they have as far as what they can do. I mean, I haven't seen a Dark Age Men-at-Arms rush in a little bit, but yeah, that's also something they could have tried. And here comes the Sultani Trade Network popping out, moving it over. Looked like he built 2 for a second there. Moving it over a spot there. This landmark, is it... I feel like from what I've seen of that landmark, it's not worth adding any more traders on the initial 3. What was your take on that?
Yeah, I would say in general, no, it's not worth it. Maybe there's some like niche play that you can do, especially on this map, right? Like there's not very good trade.
Yeah.
So maybe in like the late game you can add the 10, or 8. I can't remember. I think it has 10.
Yeah, I think it's 10.
But in the early game, I think it's, yeah, you just want to keep the 3 for the passive gold income. It's very nice.
Well, we are going to have an Abbey of Kings coming out instead. So no Council Hall longbow push all in. That doesn't mean he won't play the feudal game though. We'll have to see what he does. Still has that early wheelbarrow. Slows up the age up just a little bit.
Yeah, we want to just see if he's mining gold here, I think. Continuously mining gold. So he is. So that could mean he's going for like a wood upgrade, or it couldn't mean too many other things. It's either wood upgrade or maybe even a castle age push.
Now we're kind of waiting to see here. Sheep coming in. That scout's really close to the TC.
Wow.
Shots fired. That might go down.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Ooh, that feels rough. A little too close to the sun right there. And then, I mean, thankfully he only had 1 sheep to his name. But
yeah, but that's very difficult in this particular matchup, I think, because it is very important to scout what English is doing here.
Yeah, the lack of vision now is going to be really difficult. It'll be interesting to see if he gets onto another one or delays it. I mean, I've had some people say that, you know, immediately lose a scout, build another one, even if it's worth losing a villager or not, just because the information is so important.
I think in this position you don't want to. The extra vill is just a big deal.
Yeah.
He's probably going to maybe play like, you obviously see the racks here. He might go a very early stable and just go some Sipahi, just to like get some raiding done, and also it gives you a bit of information as well on what he's up to.
Yeah, we see a scout trying to harass the vills. It's going to get pushed away by the spear in just a second. Not really anything other than just an attack king to annoy him. And there we go, the age up. Right into feudal age we go. Abbey King's coming up right behind. So we do have a spearman. And he doesn't have any others in the queue just yet. It looks like he's just upgrading it first and foremost to be a hardened spearman in feudal age. And on to stone. Now, 2 on stone, what does that tell you? He's just going to get the upgrades for some stuff, some towers, or what do you think he's doing the 2 on stone for?
It's got to be a military school, I think, but I feel like that's kind of very greedy.
Yeah, kind of way out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Scout still trying to do some silly shenanigans here. We got the king coming out any second. And man, what a great unit to have for free, right? Be able to pressure that. And with that gold really in the forward spot, I mean, he's going to have the 3 traders that in his trade network. So he's going to have some passive gold kind of coming in. I'm curious to see what Mokomi's plan will be going into this. But again, like you said, it's going to be very, very dependent on what English does here in a second.
Yeah, and he's probably very confused without that scout, right? And obviously we see that SoldieR looks to be going castle here. But let's say if I was Mokomi, I would try to get that stable out and at least, maybe get some damage done, but also use it to scout.
Yeah, Spear's looking for that scout, trying to keep it away. Now we see SoldieR is going to see what Mokomi's doing here, getting the stone for military schools on those two. And like you said, really greedy. That stone vein really is kind of far away from the town center.
Yeah, yeah. And
is that his closest stone?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's part of the map, right? The stone's really far away.
And he's going to pull off gold now. I don't think he saw the king, but you know that he went that surround mark, so he's just playing it very safe.
It's coming in. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and he does have the spears ready to go for it, so the king's just going to look for some potential. I'm sure he's kind of going to wake his way to that stone vein. Maybe he's going to get him off of that.
And if you micro this king very well, you might be able to get the bill here, because any damage he takes, you can just heal that back up.
Yeah, exactly. Not going to get the charge. Ooh, tough little spot. Didn't get much done there. He's going to retreat for the time being. Meanwhile, yeah, this looks like SoldieR's really close to getting to Castle Age. I'm sure he'll be there in about a minute.
Yeah, and Mokomi is so far away from going castle himself or whatever he plans to do. He's really focusing on building his military schools, which
take time.
Yeah, we don't see that as much anymore. So we'll see if he can deal with any Castle Age pressure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what. I mean, he's only got the one right now. It is getting boosted by the blacksmith right there, but yeah, not a lot. And I think, is that the stable he's building right there? It looks like it. And wow, that's a lot on gold. Is this going to be a White Tower rush? Those villagers are walking forward. That's a lot. I think he's going to go for a White Tower rush. Oh, man, he is. He's going to drop it right on the front door.
Oh,
man,
my gosh.
That is. Yeah. Ooh. And I don't think there's anything Mokomi can do about this, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree. I think Mokomi he's playing very greedy. I mean, he doesn't have anything, right? He's got the 5 spearmen, but versus 20 or so 15 English villagers, it's not going to do that much.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they probably could take on the spearmen on their own at this point with how many there are. The king's still alive, but man, this is about to be, the realization's going to hit, and here it is dropping now, and there's no worse feeling than this, right? Next to maybe a Berkshire coming in your base.
Oh my gosh, I was going to say he might not even see it, but it's just, oh wow, it's so far forward. Oh my gosh.
That is so greedy. But, it's going to work. I don't see any counter to this at the moment. And then, obviously, the next thing that comes out is going to be the Rams, right? He's going to start really just
yeah, he can go Rams, he can go, oh my, and it's, wow. This is insane. I think this is like GG almost.
I think it is. I don't know how else you stop this. I mean, the villagers are almost one-shotting the vills.
He almost even killed a vill there.
That is insane. There it goes up, and they're going to take his gold to add insult to injury. Wow. And now Mokomi has no choice but to go to the back gold. But the problem is, again, that tower, the White Tower, is also a production building, and Rams are almost certainly going to be in order here in a bit, or at least Knights or whatever. I mean, he's got so much pressure now. SoldieR can do kind of just whatever the heck he wants.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't have any wood or any other income to get anything going, so it's going to take a moment to do anything. But again, the pressure that exerts is going to be astronomical.
Wow, yeah, I don't know what you do with Mokomi. I mean, I guess you have to go castle here, but he doesn't even have the food for it.
Yeah, he's going to get a vill pick right here. He's going to kind of pressure. These villagers can't quite stay on those deer, but I mean, there's so many of them, they could just turn around and just shoot them down, like I said.
Yeah, that's some nice damage. He got some idle time as well, so he's delaying any siege that's coming from this White Tower as well.
Problem is, these are feudal spearmen, so I mean, he's going to have to get the Castle Age, but then the question is, okay, then what? I mean, SoldieR's castle, he's going to be able to do some things with it. He doesn't have a lot of resources coming in right now. I mean, if you look at his resources a minute, he's only got 185 a minute food. He's out of food actually right now. So this idle time isn't terrible for Mokomi.
Yeah, I think he overextended there just a bit. He walked a bit into the White Tower and let the bills kind of shoot inside the range of it. He just needs to stay on the outside of those deer pack and kind of force idle time. But SoldieR kind of cleaning up a few of those spearmen.
Yeah, and once those get cleared up, I mean, we've got some Sipahi in the queue, but I still feel like Mokomi's in a kind of a tough spot, right? This is a lot of pressure to be thrown right at your face.
Yeah, I would like to see a treble, even Rams, as you said, just right beside that White Tower. It's going to be completely defended there. But he's choosing to go for Knights, and with the Spearmen being cleaned up, that's an okay decision, but...
It doesn't close the game out quite yet.
Yeah.
Well, we do have that first Knight popping out right now from the White Tower, looking for some more eco damage. Mokomi, of course, still not able to get up to Castle Age. He's just missing the food right now, and you see he's trying to defend these berries. He's got the gold, though, because he's got the trade network just, trickling gold in. But here we go, the Knight trying to get some picks. That Spearman, not going to be enough, but it is going to at least push him away for the time being.
And you look at this macro from Mokomi, and you think, oh my gosh, he's playing so poorly. He's building 800 wood and 700 gold, but it's like, where am I supposed to get food from? Like, he can't get on the deer. He's getting taken off the berries, like... and he doesn't really want to build farms because he wants to save that wood for siege to take out this white tower. So it's a very difficult position to be in.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if he's even had a first visitor point yet at this point in the game either.
I think he must have had the sheep by this point.
He must have got. That's what I was assuming. Because that's the only place he could possibly get food.
Yeah.
I mean, 1,600 food would be really good for him right about now. No. Oh, yeah, he did go for Anatolian Hills. Okay, I said that'd be the only place he could be even having food at this point. But yeah, with the berries gone, though, unavailable, he has nowhere else to go. He's got one back gold he can touch. And that's about it.
I wonder if he bought food there for a second. I can't see, but he's going up pretty quick, actually.
Oh, that's possible. That is a market for him right there, isn't it?
Yeah. And he even has to put in the back here just because of that white tower. Yeah.
That's going to be so frustrating. And then we see, going to pick some relics here. SoldieR just going to secure that map control. I mean, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty much all 5 relics are behind the white tower in some shape or form. So he really has the option to grab them all if he wants.
Mokomi is doing a fantastic job, though. He even got back onto those deer villas to raid them again. And SoldieR is now having a difficult time macroing himself here. He's like moving those villas back and forth. He can't get enough gold.
Yeah, I mean, he can only. I mean, the white tower has a lot of garrison slots, but he's got all. I mean, pretty much all of SoldieR's eco is out here in front of Mokomi's base.
Yeah, I think SoldieR probably should have put the white tower closest to the deer pack and the gold, but he put it near the military academy. And he didn't build any rams or anything, so it's a bit of a weird choice.
Yeah, it is interesting that if he put it up there, like you said, then that wood line would open up to him. He could maybe then produce some rams, start tearing down the production buildings, and then he could close out the game. But here, Mokomi trying to get his way back into the game, doing a pretty good job. And I think the most important thing is, you can't panic in this instant, right? Even though you are panicking, you got to try and keep your calm.
Yeah, but Mokomi, he's almost back into this game, and it's very nice to have this siege run mark because it's it lets you deal with the white tower a lot better. And
if he switches over to it, though, he's still stuck on the...
yeah, the trap would be very nice here, for sure.
Yeah, Spear's trying to chase out the king from his base. He's got a couple idle villagers. He's just looking for a place to put them. Still getting that mango queue. The trebuchet would be far more useful here. Because I'm not sure what's the mango going to do, tickle the horseman?
I would even like to see some Janissaries. He's got that very safe back gold, and he's having trouble getting onto food, so just dumping all of that gold into Janissaries might be a good idea here.
He's got a visitor point. What do you think he's going to pick?
That's a tough decision. There's not too many good options. He could even, this is the one instance you could take the siege visitor point in at 13 minutes.
Hop on a treb, getting that thing down. Yeah, that'd be an interesting choice. Doesn't feel ideal, right? But your whole game plan's not really gone forward as you would expect at the beginning of the game. Yeah, those Knights are starting to add up a number. We've got 6 of them on the field now for SoldieR, plus 1 more for the King. And Crossbow's starting to come out. And SoldieR himself is getting a trebuchet in production right now.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. About time, I'd say,
Yeah, it seems a little late on the later side. I mean, they are kind of expensive, though. There's I guess it's a Lancer for Ottomans coming out itself. But that's 1 against, 7's not going to be able to do much. We see the wall going down. Knights coming into the backside of the base, trying to pressure that backside wood line. Another tower coming up. I love this choice to build a tower here from SoldieR.
Yeah, sure.
And there's a Trub just kind of waiting for its first orders, and it's received it. Take down everything.
You could even wall it a bit just to make it a bit safer.
That'd be really smart.
Yeah.
There's the first relic. The Wolves are trying to help out Mokomi. Not going to get much done there, but that's 1. He's gonna have 4 relics. I think SoldieR will end up with all the relics, though. I mean, he's gonna have to build another monastery for the next ones.
Yeah, and the Vil gap is increasing here, unfortunately, for him as well.
Yeah, I'm impressed with how Mokomi has handled this, but I still don't know how he wins the game at this point without decisively tearing down that tower and getting these Vils killed somehow.
Yeah, he's definitely struggling.
Yeah, there's that gold in the back, white tower. The Treb's starting to do some work. We see the Knights trying to take down a Lancer, trying to catch up there. And we see some Vils being sent out to repair the military schools. At that point, that's an investment Mokomi definitely wants to keep alive. And a Springald now coming out to counter the Treb. Boy, I really wish he'd have swapped that first mango for a trebuchet. He'd be in a much better spot right now.
And he is building the trebuchet now, though, but it's a bit late for sure.
Yeah, and that's going to take some time to come out. Knights looking for a dive, getting the Vils off of that military school, so we should be able to take it down, I think. Here comes the Springle looking for a shot on the trap. He has added an extra trader now, so he's got 4 in there.
I think it's, yeah, it's odd, but I think it's maybe even the right decision with how difficult it is to macro in this position.
Yeah, I mean, you've got resources you need to spend. You might as well put it into more eco, I suppose. Both military schools looking like they're going to burn down to rubble here any second now. Trebuchet being guarded by a couple of crossbows. Knights still patrolling around, and Mokomi just kind of looking for an in. Springle takes a shot, gets a hit, but isn't going to get enough to tear it down. And there are, of course, Vills in the vicinity of the Trebuchet that they can come heal and prepare that if they needed to. See, Spears now guarding the the Mangonel.
Soldiers even walling him in. It's, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, he's got the Sacred Sites. He's got all 5 relics in hand. It feels like this game is just kind of stalling out here for Mokomi. He needs some kind of huge hit. He's building more traders, and I feel like every time I've seen that, it's probably the best thing he could do right now, but it just doesn't feel like enough. Yeah, I see the Trebuchet starting to fire on that stable now, taking out the production buildings or what's left of them. I mean, what would you do as Mokomi? What else can you do here?
Yeah, he's in a very, very difficult position. I think I would still build Janissaries here just because, I mean, he has no access to food. He has 0 food per min. Like, I mean, what do you do at that point?
He can't even build a villager at this point. He's rebuilding the production buildings in the back, trying to keep things going. He's got 2 Springles. They're taking some shots at the Knights, trying to do some help. The Mangonel doesn't really do anything. Takes a shot, though. Yeah, and you just kind of sit here and wonder, what can you do here? Because the White Tower's still there. Soldier's now getting upgrades. He's got 6.5 minutes or so till he gets the upgrade. And we do see the Trebuchet coming out here in just a second from the MIA. Oh, but you know, he is population capped. He has lost 1 too many houses and can't even produce it. It can't come out.
Yeah, everything is being killed like consistently on this in the front of his base by this Trebuchet.
Yeah, this is brutal. Not much else he can do. I'm amazed he's survived as well as he has, to be honest. I mean, getting White Keep dropped like this or White Tower dropped is pretty rough. But he's got a bit of military mass, trying to get some houses in queue. He's just kind of stuck, though.
Yeah, and that Trebuchet isn't quite even shooting yet, which he needs to get that going as fast as possible.
Yeah, I mean, once that White Tower goes down, then at least his base opens up a little bit. But like you mentioned, the walls are there. The Sacred Sites are being captured, and he's got no food coming in. Yeah,
I think the walls are kind of to limit the movement, like stopping him from getting onto those Sacred Sites, or just like getting himself back into the game, right? Like it's forcing him to deal with this White Tower, which he just doesn't have the tools to deal with.
Yeah, by the time the White Tower were to go down, the Sacred Site timer would be just about done. So you're trying to get rid of the Knights over there. They're just kind of pestering, annoying him here now. We see armor-clad upgrade coming in for the men-at-arms and some ranged damage increase, getting all the blacksmith upgrades that he needs.
Yeah,
Soldier's just massive.
Yeah, I like the men-at-arms transition as well because you know Mokomi has near no food. And what do you need to build crossbows? You need a lot of food.
Yeah. We do have a couple. He's got a couple crossbows coming out, but only 2. There are some Janissaries, as you mentioned, but man, it feels like it's too late already. And look at that trade. He's built the Sultani trade network. 10 traders of 10 traders, all inside, just making money. Trebuchet trying to exchange shots with its counterpart. And then the Knights coming in for a dive. Are they going to go for the Treb, or are they going to go around for Vill kills instead? They're going to get a Villager right there and then wrap around the trade network, looking for more. They're going to dive the woodline. And you know, this is tough. The whole army has to come back and take a look at it. But the idle time now, I mean, you're already out of food. Now you don't have access to the wood as easily. You're getting idled. And these Knights are just so tough to deal with in your base. Meanwhile, Trebuchet's still firing from behind the White Tower.
Yeah, maybe if Soldier overextended there and he caught all those Knights out, he could have found a way back. But Soldier just, you know, going in, killing a few Vills, and just finding his way back out.
Yeah, we see that Mokomi hit the Janissary, or got his final Vizier point built. I'm guessing it's going to be the final Vizier point. I don't know if he'll have time to get to another one, but now he can produce Janissaries out of military schools, and that is exactly what's queued up right now. Which, you know, good choice actually into those Knights. I mean, that's exactly what you need. But again, even if the White Tower goes down, how is he going to take care of those Sacred Sites?
And he doesn't even know about the men-at-arms transition. Soldier is like hiding it, which, you know, maybe he could walk into Mokomi's base and end the game, but he's playing it safe, and he's just, I guess he's playing for the sites.
Yeah, which, I mean, I think it's a smart option, right? I mean, obviously, you know, we like to be aggressive, we like to finish games, but if you don't have to, you don't have to. You can just kind of sit back and just win it as it is. I mean, the safer thing to do is to do exactly what Soldier's doing. And yeah, I think the first men-at-arms is barely in the range of the Fog of War, but he's just only showing the Knights for the most part, trying to send them back in. Yeah, Mokomi's got two trebuchets now working on that white tower. It is starting to lose some health. But those knights coming in for another dive. Janissary's taking some shots, though. You see a knight fall there. They're getting another Vil kill. 19 destroyed workers. 19 worker kills for SoldieR versus only 2 from Mokomi.
Oh, and those men at arms are coming in now. It's sniping all the trebs.
Oh, man. Just like confetti. They just pop and go, and I don't know how anyone can deal with that with this military. That's a lot of men-at-arms coming in. 40 men-at-arms storming the base. This just might very well be it. Janissary is trying to do the best they can with the choke points, but there is just so many of these little guys walking all around. Knights coming in from behind to kill the workers as they run in. I think this just might be it.
Yeah, I think SoldieR just came in with those knights and he realized, okay, I can just A-move here and end the game.
Yeah, and now they're just torching down the TC. I mean, he can just landmark snipe if he wants. Janissary is trying to do some... They trade really well into men-at-arms, but there's just so many of them.
Yeah. Even in these choke points, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't care, and they just keep going through. Because you remember, he's got a lot of upgrades. He's gotten as much as he can. These guys are about as tanky as they're going to get, and that is going to be called GG.
Wow, though, that was fun. I didn't think I'd see a white tower rush.
I did not think I'd see that either. That's, if that was on your bingo cards, make sure you mark it down, everybody, as game number 1 goes to SoldieR. Wow. Well, I shouldn't have been surprised by that, but I was very much surprised by that. I mean,
yeah, I don't know if that was planned or if he saw Mokomi and he chose to do that, because Mokomi was playing that very greedy. He was building military schools. He had only spearmen. Like, yeah, that was the game to white tower rush if you're gonna pick one. Like,
yeah, exactly. And with a shorter distance between stuff as well, the smaller map. I mean, that white tower is more effective because there's less ground to cover.
Yeah, and it's hard to get around it and stuff like that.
Yeah, on the walls that he added on the sides. I mean, really well played. I mean, if you're gonna, almost textbook on how you do a white tower. I mean, I would like to see maybe Rams come out. He kind of had a moment where he didn't know what to do with the Vils right after.
Yeah, he was having a difficult time macroing and stuff like that, but it's difficult when you pull that many Vils into the
when you pull, like, I mean, it was like 28 villagers right there. I mean, his entire eco just went out to do that. And you can see the graph here, the military value lead definitely in favor towards the end of SoldieR. And we can see the Vil graph is what's really killing Mokomi there. You can just see all the damage that was done when he dropped the tower. I mean, then just getting the raids in later on, not letting him recover, and yeah, that's really tough. I'd be pretty frustrated if I were a Mokomi. That's not how I envisioned that game going.
I think still you can go Chamber of Commerce on this map just because of the fact that corner trade is always a thing.
Yeah. Actually, you're quite right. I've seen a lot of people try to go trade on this map with like Malians, even or Mongols and stuff like that. It can work, especially, you know, if you take like reasonable water trades and you transition at a very good time or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly doable. We do see what's going on here as well. And, well, both players looks like they're going for water, question mark? Yes, both players are going for water. And so I actually, this was something I would actually need a little bit of help with. Japan water builds, like how... I know you go Shinobi, but like from start of game to Shinobi, like what's your idea there? Or like, how do you play that?
Honestly, you can play whatever you want. Like, you can go with 6 fishing boats, you can go with 3, you could go with 8. Like, you can pretty much do whatever you want and then react to how your opponent's playing. It's just about how your player style works, what you want to go, what strat you want to go on for each different water map, like if it was Hawaii Island or if it was Baltic in this case.
Yeah, so we do see Mokomi. We'll see how he does. We'll see how many fishing ships he go for. He actually has dropped the house on the berries, not instead of actually just dropping it. But he has moved a villager away from it, which does indicate that he does not want to actually go for that upgrade, because that is valuable gold.
I think it's a bit unnecessary to put it on the berries, because...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well, right? Because you pretty much only drop it on the berries if you actually want to get the upgrade, because the distance is actually... walk there is actually a lot of idle time. And on water maps especially, like Sushi, for example, in China, they have very, very tight water belts. Like,
yeah, it can make a huge difference on a map like this.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. I mean, I'm very excited to see what SoldieR is going to be doing here on French, though, just in terms of, like, anything.
Well, you know, I think you might be right. We might just see a Chamber of Commerce. I'm kind of curious what he does in water then, if he doesn't want to like fully commit, or if he just goes like Aeroswitz or something, or if he's like building trade in passively and just trying to consistently defend in water. Like maybe you could make that work, but I think if he just plays straight up, it's going to be difficult for sure.
Yeah, because like even if he drops the Chamber of Commerce like immediately right next to his base, it's still a really good trade line, right? And he can honestly like there's none that is like neither of the trade posts is like really safe for him, but they're still really good, right? Because well the split is pretty even right now.
Yeah, and we did actually see the Chamber of Commerce get buffed, and I think in situations like this, it's very nice because you're getting eco upgrades like forestry and the wood upgrade and maybe the fishing upgrade.
I mean, well, like we see on a lot of water builds specifically, it's like you do mine up enough gold while you age up that you actually do like you do double broad axe and you have enough for ships immediately, right? So if you do drop Chamber of Commerce and you get wood cutting anyways, like it really plays together really nicely.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, Japan actually has a pretty nice answer to that with the Shinobi.
Shinobi cancel or disabling cut?
No, I just mean like...
or just like trade in general.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Like, what do you deal with the Shinobi with archers? Like that's kind of... That first thing, they're very wood heavy on a water map, and then you have to micro them consistently, which is very difficult to do because you're very focused on the water and microing on the water perfectly, pretty much.
I'm trying to think if I've ever seen Shinobi against feudal knights. Probably like on some live streams, but not in competitive play, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I actually don't know how they do.
Well, straight up, they're going to do very well, but if you just focus on microing your knights with the charge, you're going to trade well with the charge bonus, for sure.
I do want to shout out as well SoldieR's build here. It's pretty clean. Like, that's a tight build, to be fair, right?
And he's even aging up faster than Japan now.
Yeah. And Japan has cheaper fishing boats, right? So it's 45 instead of 75. We're currently at 5 here for SoldieR, which I'm actually a little bit surprised by compared to the 6, but Mokomi is dropping a second dock here during the age up, which is it's going to be playing nicely when we get into actual water fights.
Yeah, and SoldieR got forestry. That upgrade is so cheap now. They even increased the economic discount that French gets.
Oh yeah, true. It's from 30 to 35. But yeah, it's like I want to say like 17 food or something.
Yeah.
So it's pretty ridiculous, right? And well, you can argue like how big of an effect is it, but like if you have a space for it in your build order, and especially on wood maps or on water maps where wood is really important, I actually think like getting forestry is completely fine, and we'll actually probably see with the amount of gold he has here. I'm expecting him to get double products as well.
Yeah, I think Mokomi could have had a lot cleaner of a build here. He's getting the wheelbarrow upgrade that Japan gets kind of while he's aging, which is nice, but he could have aged up a lot quicker, I think, as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to do, right? We saw this on Archipelago as well in Master of Realms. It was like the age up timings was all over the place just because like you physically can't scout your opponent, and on water maps like this, it's a little bit harder, but it's still not impossible. But it's still very awkward to scout how many fishing ships your opponent has when it's spread out like this, for example, or it's very far away from your fishing or the shoreline.
So Mokomi is just opening with double Hulk. I think that's okay. He's obviously going to go with the airship probably after that.
Yeah, I hope so, considering the fact that there's a demo out there.
Yeah, very quick demo. You don't see that, and maybe Mokomi might be caught off guard by that.
I think so too. I mean, I think maybe it's like thinking 2 steps ahead, but the other person is also thinking 2 steps ahead, so you just end up thinking about the same step. Maybe.
Yeah, he's going to have to go quick, though, because this archer ship is about almost halfway done here.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, you still can go for the demo. Like, worst case scenario, you just end up sending your demos in a clump of fishing ships.
Yeah, that's I think a lot of people, like even Ruslan Vortex, like they do that a lot. If they don't think the demo is going to be able to connect with the Hulk, they just kill the fishing ships, and oftentimes they trade very well.
I mean, to be fair, you need 2 demo ships, but 2 demo ships, right? We do have the first one taken out, the second one going as well.
Yeah, pretty awful trades with SoldieR there.
Yeah, that was really awkward. We do as well have, though, again, those those demo ships did have a little bit of a connection on the archer ship, which is going to be
It
helpful.
looks like he's going to connect there with the... Oh my gosh, yeah. And he even kills one. One was damaged there.
Well, that was disgusting. I mean, that was a quick turnaround as well.
He needs to heal this up, yeah. If he lost that second one, that would have been a disaster for sure.
Yeah, 2-hour ships as well. Something you don't like to see usually, but we do have 2 demo ships in queue as well, which are going to be sent over. It's really hard as well to do this kind of defense because it's really awkward. Because you gotta, when there's demo ships just flying in at you, you just gotta be spamming archer ships, right? You gotta be spamming archer and demo, but it's so awkward to do in macro 4 as well. And I haven't really seen the Shinobi do a whole lot this game so far. Might have been able to sabotage, but the whole going forward here as well is finding the connection on the fishing ships, but not the Springle. That is crucial.
Yeah, I think SoldieR is having to deal with that Shinobi though, which makes it a bit difficult to make on the water, and he doesn't have a melee unit to answer the Shinobi yet as well.
No, I'm actually surprised that there isn't a Knight out on the field just yet.
Yeah, and he has the resources for it. He needs to get that going for sure.
I mean, a little bit of the reason for that is, right, the demo ships, right? It's very gold heavy, right? So he needs to be mining a lot of gold and actually do that. But again, right, he hasn't been idle on water, right? So he has a lot of food in the bank. But yeah, we do have the first 9 in queue here. We do have a little bit of an attempt and actually a little bit of a micro battle.
A little bit of a miss micro there, losing those 2 demos, and he's going to retreat, given that he lost those.
No, that's a fishing ship. But yeah, we do have the Warcogs from the French here. We haven't really seen like a big water battle where it's actually having a big effect here, but we do have that demo. Not getting the connection, but Springer ship's going to be looking for the little archer ships as well. So now, let's see if there's any connections really happening here. They're kind of just like looking at each other menacingly and just taking a couple of shots back at each other.
Yeah, they're having a very difficult time connecting with the demos, I think. There was that one big connection, but outside of that, there hasn't been too many demo connections going on.
Yeah. Oh, I actually didn't realize there was this many on gold. I mean, it makes sense, right? 340. But we do have a Shinobi, and like the value of this Shinobi, I think this is the only Shinobi that was made, but the value, just the idle time here, is a really good window, or could create a really good window for Mokomi to actually attack on water.
Yeah, but SoldieR's almost up to 3 knights now, and he's sending one across the map, and okay, Mokomi is building another Shinobi now, but one Shinobi is not going to be able to deal with this knight still.
We do actually have a villager out there. I mean, it's not the biggest problem actually losing it, considering, well, water, but still nicely defended there. We do actually have a pretty interesting wall here. I actually really like this. It does focus just everything onto one side, right? And knights, massing knights just sucks at torching down walls and buildings, like, just period.
Yeah, he did tower his gold there, but I think he is still worried about his wood line, which is, at this point in the game, it's getting pretty far into that wood line. It's very difficult to protect it with your TC.
Yeah. So do have to see as well. I'm actually not too sure. Would you rather, like in this scenario here, because you're being pressured by the French on both land and water, like, do you want to spend your... do you want to go arrow slits, or do you want to go Diamo?
That's a good question. I think I would go arrow slits, just because the Diamo isn't too useful, unless you have any production buildings.
Right. Right, yeah. I mean, you could go like... I mean, a potential play here actually would be the Uma Bannerman. So you would actually get like knight versus knight, kinda. It's a lot of like investment, and the game needs to go long enough for that to actually happen, though.
Yeah, I think the safer option is just to go with the arrow slits and try to get some value out of that defensively. But
yeah,
but he is having issue with the knights now, and he does need an answer in a few minutes, I think.
We do have a... okay, guys, stop fighting.
Yeah, and both these players have like pretty even amount of like Hulks, demos, and archer ships. A lot of the times you'll see like 70% Hulks.
Yeah, this is really interesting, right? It's like the amount of... Just because like Springle's ships for French is like the big thing they have, right? But these demos looking menacingly here, going to be looking for connections, going to be only getting one of them.
Yeah, but he's still losing vills on that wood line as the op showed there, and he's focusing on the water, which is an issue because he's just losing a ton of vills in the back.
Yeah, I mean, water fighting here as well. Like, SoldieR is up with the Springle chips.
Yeah.
The Springle chips is better. Like, that's the one thing French has going for them on water. These demo ships that Mokomi is throwing at, it's just not landing any connection whatsoever. Attempt from a little bit of fancy micro there from SoldieR. It's not going to come to fruition, but still pushing forward as SoldieR just has the mass.
Yeah, I think Soldier's taking over this game a bit here. He's up to 10 Vil lead now, and he still has, like, the military lead.
Yeah, I mean, Shinobi is just kind of standing idle. If Mokomi was more active, right, with those Shinobi and actually playing into what Japanese does on water and actually, like, fighting a little bit, being a little bit sneaky, actually being able to sabotage those docks, this could look very different. But he actually is right now up a little bit on water.
Yeah,
to look away from demos, which should be very easily snapped out from Mokomi.
Yeah, I was looking at the land, but Mokomi is up to 7 Hawks. I think if he can get something done here, he can make his way back into this game.
Hiding is really nice as well, right? Not losing too many archer ships. You're fine trading like an archer ship for like 2-3 demo ships. I think it's like value-wise, probably not, but actually like the damage-wise it is. But you have just more and more demos. That demo is connecting and the second one's not, but still a really good hit here. The ships are really low HP here for Mokomi. We actually do have Blacksmith coming in as well, right? +1 ranged armor for SoldieR, which actually does affect ships there as well. But these demo ships are going to be suiciding a little bit into the archer ships as well. But we'll see here why the idle economy from Mokomi here is huge as well.
Yeah, it's not a disaster because he is floating a bit too much food, so this idle economy on the fishing isn't going to set him back too much, but if he loses the water, obviously it's a big issue.
Yeah, it's still not comfortable though. We do have...
And SoldieR, he's really putting on the pressure. These demos are just coming wave by wave here.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it easy to actually, like, defend against them. Unless you do that, that is a nasty hit on 3 demos, a demo connection in return at least. Just going to be resetting SoldieR's whole count.
Yeah, I mean, he could even try to go castle. That would be kind of crazy, but he has the macro to do it.
I mean, what does he give him, though?
Yeah, I think he can't afford anything, right, if he goes castle. That's
yeah,
true.
I mean, he goes castle, right? Yes, his food is somewhat okay at this point, but I don't know. It feels like a very uncomfortable situation for Mokomi right now, and SoldieR as well, right? He's getting eco upgrades. He's going on this...
Wow.
But he's not going to be... Is he...
I think that's a bit of an odd decision. I don't know what he's doing, but I think like, if I was SoldieR and I saw myself kill that many Vils on Mokomi's woodline, I would think I'm ahead. So transitioning into a second TC or arrow switch is kind of a weird decision when he probably could just keep applying pressure on the water.
Yeah, because it slows his tempo a lot, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he shifted how many villagers was that over to zone again, right? So now that he's actually got that, well, we'll have to see. I mean, he's going more aggressive with his knights. His knights have been trickling in. And I feel like the multitasking from SoldieR this game has just been a little bit more better.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's done a very good job on the end here.
And I feel like walling against Mass Shinobi is... sure. I'll give it to him. I mean, force of habit could be, again, right, could be going for a castle, which Mokomi is doing. I think he actually remacroed a little bit behind it as well, but still very, very unsure about his, like...
In this game, sorry, this game looks very good for SoldieR, but on these types of water maps, it's very easy to come back into the game.
Yeah.
So the game is far from over, I'd say.
Yeah, and again, right, I mean, both these civs, they don't particularly mind playing a long 30-40 minute game, right? Because they have a lot of going for them and all, but the floating gate will be spotted out here as well. Shinobi looking to see if they can do something more. In picture we have that singular knight who's just going to be doing so much damage.
Yeah, this guy's put in work, man.
I mean, the employee of the month right there as well, right? And the only thing that's really taking him down is actually just a... It's just a tower, and he has +1 ranged armor, right? So it takes so long. How many Vils is that at this point?
He's killed 16 Vils in total. Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, I would believe it, honestly, considering how long that guy was there. But floating gate will be slowly but surely going up here, and SoldieR needs to be doing a decision here now. Does he match the castle, or do he heavily invest into water to actually take over the map?
Yeah, I think he has to send on the water here, like with the 900 gold. He can build so many demos in that situation.
You just mass demo, take over water, play, just then transition into land?
Yeah, although, yeah, Mokomi's water army isn't so bad himself, so, I mean, it's going to come down to macro ultimately.
I mean, military numbers looks pretty good, right? But SoldieR actually has 5 archer ships, which won't be doing a whole lot right now, I think. But I have to see, slowly starting to see if something is coming.
Well, it looks like he's going to go castle himself there. He's at 1100 food almost. So yeah, it looks like he's just going to match the castle himself here.
He has transitioned into spears. I mean, obviously that knight was right next to where the stable was dropped, so...
And yeah, and he did go that second TC, so that's an interesting decision.
He could almost go a third.
Yeah, he could have. And he's getting the guild hall, so he's playing this very economic approach. It's almost like he's not so concerned about winning the water anymore.
No, I think he's pretty happy with his position on water right now, right?
Yeah.
He's idly water economy. He's taking down some fishing ships, right? He knows he's up in eco, so he could just look to extend his eco lead, right? Personally, I would have liked to see, just because the initial investment is lower by going trade, right? He spent like so much time walking over stone, gathering stone that you don't need for anything else, and now dropping a TC. I actually would have perfectly liked trade here, just because it just pays quicker, basically.
Yeah, I think ultimately it's a bit of a mistake to play the way SoldieR is doing, because he was ahead, but it's not like he's putting himself behind. It's just kind of not closing out the game when potentially there was an opportunity to.
I wonder if his idea is like, hey, let me solidify my eco lead.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Which is again why French trade. I mean, I might be biased because I play a lot of French, but
He might even be more confident on lands. I mean, this game he has done very well with the knight harassing and stuff like that as well.
yeah, that's a fair point. We do have a couple of Mounted Samurai looking to see if they can get through the walls, though. So the walls ultimately did end up doing something with these horses that can't really jump that high. But I'm actually surprised we do not have a lot more water investment. Like, both players kind of just sitting at home, just like not doing anything. And actually, these demo ships, if they can find like a blob of 5-6 fishing ships, this is very happy.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the build lead, he's not that far behind in the game. So
yeah. So we actually do have armored hulls coming in from both players here. So it looks like they actually might want to go for something. There's a very tiny window here for Mokomi. There's like 30 seconds maybe where armored hulls are not available. Demos are going to be finding a couple of fishing ships, so...
Not exactly the trade you'd look for, but it's not too bad either.
Eco kills is eco kills, right? But now look at the food that Mokomi has in the bank. It's not a whole lot, and he's actually looking to see if he can go into samurai transition here. He transports ship.
Oh, that's cute.
That is very nicely done. It's going to be very quickly spotted out though, because those docks do give a little bit of fish. He does spend a lot of time idling in the eco here right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering like what SoldieR's game plan is here, but he seems so content and just like playing this passive game here, man.
I mean, I don't know how much SoldieR or Mokomi really plays water, but it's very hard. Like, it's a different macro game to play, right? So it's really hard to gauge where you are in terms of macro lead, right? We can obviously see like he's very far ahead, but I think maybe his idea is to just want to play it safe, go arbitrary crossbow or arbitrary spearman, sorry, and kind of just like win that way, right? Because that pretty much counters everything Japanese likes to do usually, right?
Yeah, and he has so many things going for him. He's on this triple TC now. He has the guild hall, which probably has a bunch of resources in the bank there. So he's still in a very, very good position.
Yeah, still should be there. I mean, right now, a little bit of engagement on water finally happening. Demos being sneaked into this fight. Still not going to find the connection he was hoping for, though. Still going to see... Oh, okay, never mind. They're backing off.
And this nice sort of raid on the back here. And he's going to find a bunch of villas as well.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the middle of the transition to going to the boar as well, actually. I mean, this really shows, like, how desperate Mokomi's economy is right now. When you go for boar on a water map like this, and you're like having fully lost water, there's like something that went wrong somewhere in the macro. But he has gone for a couple of arrow slits on the docks here at least, so can play a little bit of a defensive position for the time being.
Yeah, that's very nice for Japan here, especially when you're kind of on the back foot in water. You have those extra arrow slits to kind of stay alive.
Yeah, but the demo ships
Oh
are
my
coming in
God.
as well. I think SoldieR's. Oh my God, SoldieR's attention is somewhere completely else. He finally noticed. You can see his face cam. He's even noticing a little bit. It was doing a little bit of an esports head shake.
Yeah, this is what Mokomi needs, right? Like maybe
Oh,
if
yeah.
he can win the water here, he can even be winning the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking.
And he's pushing.
Yeah, he's pushing right now. He's feeling confident, and well, SoldieR doing a little bit of panic switch up here. He's adding 7 demo ships to queue right now. He wants to. He needs to hold his position, right? Because he needs to have water, right? If you lose water, it's not ideal. But again, right, if he loses water, it's actually kind of fine because he is on 3 TCs after all behind this, and his land army right now is.
I would love to see that, like him to lose water and just play land from there. I mean, it can be a ridiculous game, but it's very.
I mean, he's already set up for it, right?
Yeah, no, he's set up for it, right? Like he's not in a bad spot if he loses water here for sure.
Yeah,
It's just kind of evening out the game almost.
I almost want to say, I almost want to go as far as to say like, yeah, I'll do one trade and then contest water if I lose it. Like it's fine, right? And well, that's pretty much what happened. If it was the actual plan or not, that's a different scenario. But we do now have the switch up into actually going for land army, and SoldieR is way ahead on that one.
Yeah, but I think this game could go imp because SoldieR, well, he might have like a decent land army. It's a crossbow and spearman. It's not like you can really push a base with that with like 10 crossbow, 10 spearmen. So I think he's just gonna pull from the guild hall and go imp at some point.
Yeah, we do have a really nice one here as well. He's getting some arrow slits. I think it's naval arrow slits. It's a little bit hard to tell which one is which, but looks like he just wants to hold water a little bit more and just investing that to make sure. But look at SoldieR right now. Can you check the guild hall real quick to see how much food is actually in that guild hall? Because if he clicks that right now with 1,000 food, he's going Imperial.
Yeah, and he's almost in like a bit of trouble here. He needs to stay behind that wall and just play very defensively for the moment.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, just like these Unimusha as well, right? Doing a really good job of cleaning up the upper tree.
Yeah, it's very difficult to push out against these when you don't have the mass going for you.
Yeah.
So.
That's step number 1, and we'll have to see where he decides to push, right? Layers of walls coming in right now on the north side here as well, and kind of just abandoning that. I'm actually...
Mokomi is even going for siege engineering, so he wants to push. I think, I mean, it could work, but I don't think he realizes how much SoldieR has on the land here.
No, I don't think so, but I mean, considering everything, right? SoldieR doesn't have a lot on land right now, but so if Onimusha starts splitting up and getting into this farm economy, I think SoldieR's pretty cooked.
Yeah, yeah. He needs Red Palace for sure.
Oh yeah.
With those extra TCs, his eco is going to be completely safe.
Yeah, but the problem is he spent a lot of his gold right now on eco and just army, right? So he's actually out of gold right now. He was temporarily pushed off of it as well.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's going to be a huge center point here for defending that. If he can't get that gold up, he's going to be in a huge issue going into him.
He needs that. I mean, dropping a keep there is a pretty simple task, to be fair, but we do see now Mokomi is kind of realizing how much he's won on water, right? Getting extended lines here as well. And this fight right now, there's a lot of Onimusha, and if they get on top of the Arbalestria and crossbows, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, SoldieR needs like to go imp in the next 2 minutes because this big melee mass is not easy to deal with the unit count he has.
I mean, to be fair, like Arbalestria is very like they have +5 armor at this point.
True. So, yeah.
It's not the worst case scenario, but just the speed and the mobility and just catching up with it.
And he even has those defensive outposts with the Swingle Tower. It's very easy to like just continuously kite if Mokomi is losing like 1 to 2 units for free.
Demo ships there just being prepped by SoldieR. Problem with that is that was basically his last amount of gold that he used to make those demos. So he needs to be doing something with this, and he can make a spear or like archer transition, but that is like way too late when this is the mass that Mokomi has on land.
Yeah, I even think you're right. Like this is actually a pretty defendable position for SoldieR here. He's got almost 3 Spindle Towers now, and though his unit mass isn't huge, he's just kind of continuously kiting, walking into this choke, and just defending the gold, like for the most part.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a problem that could come back against Mokomi. And that is the fact that he never properly cleared water, right? Again, right, he was able to SoldieR was able to get these demo ships, and they're actually moving out a little bit right now.
Yeah, I see that. You're right. Yeah, he has one airship, and he's building a second one now.
He's getting a second one, but these demos on water, I mean, they're not finding the connections they're looking for, and Mokomi's still, again, in these very small, scrappy fights. He's still winning on land, and if it comes to push comes to shove, and the soldier is too far off against the mass that he can't win, Unamusha's going to be catching up and just winning.
Yeah, this is, like, I think they're both very confused at what stage of the game they're at. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of eco does my opponent have? And I think Mokomi almost thinks that he can just end the game. Like, he's building rams. Like, you don't really build rams unless you think, I can push this position.
There was only that one attempt at taking back water, right? But look at what SoldieR is doing right now. He effectively just saw, like, the demo ships, like, okay, wait, this is all you have? Okay, let me reinvest, right? He's floating a lot of resources right now. He's going heavily onto water, and that can very much surprise Mokomi because he has not made a new ship in ages.
Yeah, I think you're completely right. Like, look at those fishing ships; they're just spread all over that lake, and he just doesn't have the water units to deal with that.
Yeah, so now we are getting siege engineering as well. I think SoldieR actually did pull out of the guild hall at some point.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny to see both pros get siege engineering at like 28 minutes, like, and they're both trying to go for pushes. Like, I feel like a lot of other people would just say, okay, I'm gonna go imp.
I mean, I'm gonna say it, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, well, like we said, SoldieR's a very aggressive player, and he doesn't want to just sit back and go with the Red Palace, so...
I mean, it's not a fun position, right? Because, like, it maybe would be a different story if, like, Red Palace gave arrow slits arbitrary shots. I mean, maybe that is a little bit too busted. But if something like that, right? But now, the exact thing I was talking about. Arbitrary mass, way over push now, and Mokomi has played that defender's advantage, and just using that mobility excellently to actually just be catching up this entire mass and resetting a lot of SoldieR's economy.
Okay, he might not want to go in, but he's now at 144 vills. He's macro. He's getting tons and tons of res per min. I think he has to go in here, especially on that big gold bin.
I mean, he's 200 pop, right?
Yeah.
So he needs to, and he's dropping a keep forward here. I mean, that instead could very much have been a Red Palace. I mean, he could be thinking a Red Palace drop in the north corner on the other double gold lane.
But now we see this big push on water like you were talking about, and I think this is super deadly for Mokomi because he doesn't know that this is hitting.
Yeah, he's actually doing the Unabugeisha or Musha transition as well. Red Palace being dropped as well. Not too sure that's going to be happening in the main base as well, but this position right here is super dangerous. Mokomi needs to find something out of this because he has nothing to defend on water right now, and he's even trying to get double trebuchet, and look at the Q he has as well right now. It's massive for Mokomi.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's in a lot of trouble here. He needs to find a way to defend this water.
Yeah, and I think actually with that, I mean, there's not a lot that was actually being saved. Maybe there is some fishing ship on water that actually was still saved.
Actually, I was looking at this and thinking, okay, he can kill a ton of vills, but SoldieR's at 127 vills. He can afford to lose these vills.
It doesn't matter. He's French.
Yeah.
He's 3 TCs, now Imperial. Yeah. It's what now, 13 seconds, 15 seconds to make a villager. He's triple TC. There's nothing you can do. I mean, the only win condition that Mokomi realistically has for now is just going up to Imp himself, having this mass just idling as much of SoldieR's economy. But that really doesn't matter because the amount of resources SoldieR has in the bank right now is massive.
I don't think Mokomi realizes that SoldieR's on these triple TC, so he looks at those vills and he says, oh, okay, I just killed a bunch of vills. That's going to slow him down economically, but yeah, he just doesn't know that SoldieR's got those 3 TCs for a while now.
Yeah, and Mokomi finding a really hard time. It's just towers here, there, and the other side where it's not towers is just like it's just ships, right? And taking these guys and even rallying across here is really hard because now you do have a keep. And that's not a normal keep, it's a Red Palace keep as well, right?
But SoldieR, he did build that water mass and he did get a bit of damage done, but Mokomi still has a few fishing ships out on that lake, so it's not like his eco is completely destroyed there.
Yeah, I do wonder as well, like, what happened exactly with Mokomi's economy, because look at his food income right now, it's massive. Yeah. It's really, really good. I don't actually think he went that much for of a farm transition either. And even the 4th DC is getting dropped there for SoldieR.
Oh my gosh, and it looks like he just pulled from the guild hall as well there. He's up to 6k gold now, and it looks like he's just going to get like every upgrade.
I didn't know Divine was here. I mean, that's the closest thing I can come, but He's now fighting back a little bit on water. He's going up with the gunsmith. I'm just going to call it that. And actually, I think I really actually like that, because if you do go a Zutsu and you get a pretty decent Zutsu mass, you can do like 2 or 3 volleys onto a keep, and that's like the best way of doing that, especially when they're red out.
Yeah, but Mokomi's now down at 126 supply.
Yeah, where did all of his units go?
He needs to find a way to stabilize in the next few minutes, Aaron.
I mean, as of right now, SoldieR doesn't have too much to push back on land, right? It still gives a little bit of time for Mokomi to build up a mass.
Yeah.
And during this time, which we know about, SoldieR should be pushing, but he's just standing idle in his base and building this mass.
I mean, I think part of it is he probably, I mean, he's got 6k gold, 2.5k food, but he might not have the production, and his wood income is not very high, so he either has to sell gold for that, or he just has to decide not to push at the moment. And he has no idea what Mokomi's situation is, so yes, like, we might look at it and say, like, push now, he's at super low supply, but maybe he wants to save that gold for him, you know, wait him.
I don't know if that was just a stretch or just like a okay from SoldieR there. We did a little bit of a nod there, but look at the amount of upgrades. Some of them is a little bit behind the camera, but he's currently having all of the upgrades that he can possibly dream of.
Even military academy, I think that's super good with French, because they get the extra value from the keep bonus.
Yeah, that's also true, right? That's what I was about to do. Ooh, here we go. I mean, demo ship, the connections is beautiful. It's not going to be killing a lot of fishing ships. You need 2 of them to kill those fishing ships. But now, actually, I wonder, is a man-at-arms switch for SoldieR something that is a possibility?
Yeah, no, I think it's very good, right? Like, if you have Samurai, it's not so good, but he's just continuously building Zone of Agisha, and they do very well against them.
Yeah, I mean, look at this as well, right? The raids coming in here, you do have those on Agisha that should be actually be able to clear this up as well, and actually have a couple of mangonels in queue as well now. I do actually wonder if one of them was from a ticket in the gunsmith, could be a possibility, but actual royal cannons now coming through as well for SoldieR. So they're looking to start sieging and harassing each other's bases properly now.
Well, Mokomi is still back onto 2.4k food income, and he just finds a way to keep his food income high enough to keep him in this game.
I'm actually not 100% sure, like, what... Oh, well, that's a transport ship, I guess. We do actually have that 1-hour ship being able to take out those demos, but now this raid in the back of his base, where is Mokomi's armies? Kind of just catching up right now, and that's a lot of horsemen. They're going to be easily taken out by those spear frontline.
Yeah. Not the engagement you want if you're Mokomi here. Even fighting in this choke point here.
I mean, Oblitria has used their ability to stand their ground, which that's going to be a good mango shot as well. And
yeah, this mango comes to the rescue.
Oh, yeah. Timing on this was absolutely perfect. Still, though, I mean, that's really good trade for SoldieR, all things considered. And in the back of the base as well, right? We have a raid here going on.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Does actually idle out a lot of economy. I mean, killed a bunch as well. And we do have those banners just like laying there as a remnant of what happened.
And SoldieR is like at 150 supply. He really got raided to death there almost, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a royal cannon the whole way up here, so starting to take out the production from Mokomi here.
Wow, what a wild game.
I mean, this is why I like water. But yeah, we do actually have water still fighting, still just happening here, and it's so hard as well, right? Because it's a very big investment that Mokomi needs to do to like properly clear these hour-slitted docks. Now we actually do have a little bit of things going on here on land, right? We do actually have a Baldequin as well. SoldieR, you absolute mad lad, but it's the perfect tool right now.
This is great, for sure, and he doesn't have any spring walls to deal with this.
He doesn't. I mean, he has hand cannons, which actually does pretty well, but the second you actually get that upgrade on the Reboldequin, their supposed counter in archers and range just doesn't work anymore. I mean, we do have a bombard that's actually popping out for free. It takes so long. It's 3 or 4 shots to actually take down.
I don't even know who's winning at this point. Like, it's I couldn't even guess. Like,
I mean, I'm gonna go with the one who has Reboldequins. I mean, it's Reboldequins which counter, like, this. Reboldequin is the mangonel of melee.
He's definitely having a difficult time dealing with this push here, for sure.
I mean, yeah, and look at that, right? The cannon is getting repaired. It's going to be shooting down this Reboldequin spot. He can't take a fight. Look at that. still trying to take down a single Rebolquin, and is actually repairing, and this Royal Cannon as well is doing a great job of cleaning up the production here, but it looks like Mokomi is actually holding and fighting back for the time being.
Yeah, that Bumboat is doing work killing these Revolquins, and he's making sure to repair it so that he can keep it alive.
Yeah, he's actually just having more and more Rebolquins. I do wonder as well, like these men-at-arms that SoldieR has, I think like the initial timing it had where like a man-at-arms push or like a switch could work, that timing is over now.
Yeah, I think these knights as well were a bit of a mistake. Like, you really need to be able to be certain that you either have the economy to build these knights or you can kill your opponent with them, and he just wasn't able to.
Yeah, and actually would have loved to see right now just like a couple of Onobugeisha or something just trickling through the walls that SoldieR still has open and going right into his economy. He was up at 140 Vils, I feel like, at some point, but he's now dwindled down a little bit lower, but neither player has been able to consistently hold 200 population while fighting.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I thought this game would go imp, and it would be like 200, we'd have like 10k banks, but this is just like action every minute here.
This is very, very scrappy, and we do know how hand can SoldieR just coming in. And 3 bombards, but the problem is like Mokomi is so locked in his base right now that these bombards it's a fighting unit which is not something you like to see. Like a Mangonel right now would be doing wonders right now, but he has spent all of his tickets on those bombards because they're needed to push back a little bit if ever wins a fight.
And the knights are coming on the backside to kill them as well.
Oh, he's left them unprotected. I mean, they're staying alive for the time being.
Okay, some good micro there, yeah, and he repairs them as well.
Repairs them. At least the Daimo has been... Actually, I think it's level 2 Daimo that has happened on that TC, so at least there's something there to help him protect. But honestly, at this point, like, a keep in Mokomi's base to cut off some rotation point that SoldieR has unlocked to a certain extent in his base would go a long way right now.
Oh my gosh, it looks like SoldieR's like winning again. Like I can't tell what's going on.
I mean, this is the thing as well, right? Mokomi never really lost his entire fishing eco, but he's still so far behind on food because fishing can only sustain you for so long. You need to do some form of transition at some point, but look at this as well, right?
Yeah.
Being attempted there.
That would be deadly, right on that production there. Would maybe be game ending.
Yeah, and as well, right? The position of the gunsmith right now is not very ideal, right? It's exactly where SoldieR is attacking.
And Mokomi lost all his bombards there, so he doesn't have an easy answer to it yet.
Expensive loss. I mean, a Japanese keep, it's 1,200, right? Stone. Or is it 1,000?
It's 800 stone. No, it's 900 stone.
It's 900 stone and
but
some
it's 300 wood. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So it's 1,200, right? So it's expensive to hold, and while a French keep coming up now in the base of Mokomi, and you don't have the resources right now to relocate his production, and you need this amount of production right now in these late game fights.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I look at this game and I'm thinking like SoldieR can end it right here, but with how this game's been going, I don't know if it's gonna happen. Like,
I mean, it's so hard as well, right? We do have a bombard here, which you need a couple more to actually be able to deal with a palace or a keep, I mean. And it actually is blocking off a little bit of resources here for Mokomi, but he still has a lot in the north side. I'm actually very surprised, though, that SoldieR never really contested the north side.
yeah, and he's running out of gold a lot quicker on the south side than Mokomi is in the north there. So maybe if this game does go like 5 more minutes, that could be a huge issue for him.
It could be. I mean, French trade. I mean, I wouldn't. I said it so many times in the game. It feels like, but French trade at this point, he's secured. Like both players have secured one side of the map, right? So trade here is a real possibility, and it's very hard to be rated.
But that bombard just went down there, and he's pushing right in.
Oh, and another bombard comes out, and it's completely unprotected, and these Rebolquins.
Yeah, it's looking like it might be over, dare I say.
I mean, right now, I mean, SoldieR is very heavy on the obligatory and hand cannons, and in a perfect world, you would love to see an archer switch right now for Mokomi. Like, if he has a bunch of archers, like, with the movement speed and the range, right, you don't really have a very hard counter right now. There's a couple of horsemen and knights, but I don't think it's enough to deal with a good mass that Mokomi could very quickly build with this wood income that he has right now.
Yeah, but this keep on the production is a huge issue. I think all the units that are coming out from this production are just dying instantly, and And yes, he does have 1,700 wood, but like the time it takes to rebuild all this production is time that SoldieR's just massing up more and more units on the front of his base.
Yeah, and look at SoldieR right now. He's almost at 200 pop, while Mokomi 140 right now. And that difference is mostly coming down to the land army here as well. And now we actually have a couple of bombards taking out the docks as well, so that's going to be slowing down and hindering Mokomi's fish eco as well. But as our observer, Defcacalo, who's stepping in while I'm casting, pointing out that the gold for SoldieR right now is abysmally low, and he's even researching Tithe just to try to get some gold income.
Yeah, I even forgot that relics were like a thing in this game. I haven't been focusing on them at all. When you have these scrappy games, I think they tend to matter a bit less, just because you know, you're not banking as much gold and res.
Yeah. You have a lot of stone in the base, right? I'm just thinking, like, what would a keep do here? That wasn't soldiers in Mokomi's base, right?
Yeah.
It would be a huge matter right now, but we actually have a little bit of a problem here. Like 2 relics just sitting there for Mokomi. I was like, wait a minute, there's 2-1, and I didn't think we had an observe or a caster bug for that, but no, they're just sitting there on the ground, not doing a whole lot right now. And a lot of these production buildings, at least in the back of Mokomi, is the one that has the Euroshiro in them, so at least that they're not immediately lost on the front.
Yeah, but I think Mokomi's in a real bad spot now, and SoldieR's even, again, like the 5th time, like pushing back onto water there and killing some more fishing boats, and Mokomi is like struggling everywhere on this map now.
And we can see this being tried so many times now. It's just nice horsemen trying to run into Revolver Queen, but I'm sorry, it just doesn't work because they're so good at dealing with melee units. But now we actually do have the fully upgraded town centers from Mokomi, which helps a lot in these fights. I mean, they one-shot pretty much every unit they come across, right?
It's very nice to kill the siege as well there, if you don't have any builds to repair it.
I mean, there is some Springolds helping out as well, but Ram's now coming in from SoldieR. I mean, look at this food bank right now. He doesn't really matter. He's just throwing trash units just to, like, get rid of his resources and fill it up, right? Because gold is where the problem is at right now. And another keep coming in the base of Mokomi. And this is just, like, it's a slow burn that I'm... Wait, what the... Comment?
I mean, he needs the gold. Like, he's at 300 gold. Like, I mean, yeah, do it. Like,
I mean, it's gold available on the map, right? And
yeah,
I mean, it's right there. It's right in the face of Mokomi, literally. And more siege just going to be going down here as well. And good thing about the siege that Mokomi has, right, is like it's the tickets. It's free. It's not gold and wood spent. So at least it's that. But look at the wood in the bank as well from Mokomi right now.
Oh my gosh, he's down to 117 supply. I don't know how he can come back. But
I mean, it's still the hope, right? I mean,
he still does have almost 2k food per min, so maybe.
It's still something, right? And remember, like, it doesn't matter too much anymore. But the bank that was built while SoldieR was on 3, even 4 town centers, as French, has never really been scouted by Mokomi, so he doesn't really know the eco position that SoldieR is in. So he's probably just expecting this to be it's a final push that hopefully will end soon, and hopefully for him is probably when the game ends.
Yeah, but SoldieR, like, his big issue there was gold, but now he's up to 18 gold. 18.
I think that was the guild hall.
1800.
That must have been the guild hall, right? Because it's slowly starting to trickle down right now.
Yeah. But that's gonna help him, like, really push this base again.
Yeah, and it's an additional burn that he can do, right, to do this push. But you can see him right now. He's just like, he even went with a war code on land.
Mokomi is building TCs back in the north there. He's really fighting for this game.
Oh, he's trying so hard right now. He doesn't want to lose this. This is the whole map. It's the first Baltic.
Yeah, if he loses this, he's on match point too. He really wants to avoid that, right?
There's the Gallias as well. It's been a while since I've seen this, guys. This is afraid to disappoint me. He knew I wanted water. He knew I wanted a long game. A water game, but this might be a little bit long, a little bit too desperate, but I still think, actually, like, all things considered, the income that Mokomi has right now, it's still really good.
Yeah, it is. It's not that bad.
It just doesn't have the production because so much of it was taken out by SoldieR, and you might think like, hey, defender's advantage, but as we saw there for a little bit of a second.
I think the keep was very pivotal at
Yeah.
swinging this game in Soldier's favor
Yeah.
for sure.
But like, you think you might have defender's advantage, but Soldier, like in these late game situations like you do, like you have right now, it's like it's very crucial to actually move your production forward.
Yeah, and
right?
it's very convenient with the keep bonus. He built that keep and he just built production all around it. Like, so that was very... And this was actually buffed. I don't know how good it is now, but...
I mean, 3 now popping out. That 4th one is in queue, actually. I mean, if there's a fight that okay, never mind. They actually do a lot of damage. Okay, okay. Yeah, I think they're still fine. But at least, right? I mean, it's still a last final attempt that Mokomi might potentially have here on water, and if he's able to do that, it's still like slowly but surely trickling in a little bit. One going down. Arrow slits helping out a little bit here. He's still holding this keep, right? Or sorry, this town center. Remember, right? With the upgrades that you get with the Daimo and the stone, they get a lot more tankier, right? So it takes a while to take out, but we have one landmark already gone down, and all the Shinobi switch. I'm trying to think of something here, right? Mokomi actually Soldier burning through the wall here as well, which is going to be allowing him to push or take a Knight Mass and just see if he can find something in that corner, because that's the only place that Mokomi can possibly have anything left going for him at this moment.
Yeah, I don't know. Soldier's even pulling vills. It seems like he's trying to go for a landmark snipe or something. Or maybe he has 137 vills and he thinks he can.
I mean, look, like that's where this loss, or that's where stone is, right? So he probably wants to mine stone at this point, and well, if that's where it is. But yeah, you are right. He's actually pulling vills now, torching down the landmark. He's gonna get one of them, and actually he's just burning the.
And I think the floating gate is just back there.
Yeah, the floating gate is right in the back.
Pretty easy to kill as well.
Yeah, now actually a tower going up on this farm eco that Mokomi's trying to set up again, but it's a little bit too late.
Yeah.
I think like the villagers now is just being...
I think this is over. As much as Mokomi wants to keep fighting, I don't think he can come back.
I mean, it's the final countdown or the final landmark that's coming up now. And actually, that's one thing that came through that we didn't really discuss, but he actually does have 6 of the Yorishiro actually now, so... But yeah, final landmark being torched down now. It's not going to be going down to torch, it's going down, and the face rub from Soldier. Being tired of that game, that is very understood, and that was a very good game from both of those players.
That was back and forth. I think Soldier was winning for the most part there, but there was definitely points in that game where I thought, okay, Mokomi, he can win this game for sure. Like,
yeah, I mean, there was definitely points like when he had full water, right? He did all of the correct things by making a full army switch, right, and just going into that. And I wonder actually if you can see that. Yeah, like Mokomi is like, he has that lead, but the payoff of building those TCs, which then gets upgraded with Imperial, actually mattered so much in that fight. And I don't think we actually gave credit enough to Soldier for actually doing that.
You don't have to rush, but rushing is definitely an option, and especially on Cliffside with how short rush distance it is, you can take down Abba's second TC very easily.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he goes with here.
I mean, he could even go Hippodrome. That'd be pretty cool to see.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
That would fill up my bingo card, I think. Getting a Hippodrome, Byzantines. It'll be a fun matchup. This, of course, a lot of food on this map in particular. A couple extra sheep to start off with. A lot of food on the wings. Yeah. And we'll just go ahead and dive right on in with that. Looks like they've started already. Going to be in the northeast. We've got Soldier playing as the green Byzantines. And then Mokomi down into the southern side as the blue Abbasid Dynasty. Abbasid Sultanate? What is it called? Not Sultanate.
Abbasid Dynasty.
Abbasid Dynasty. I was right. Okay. It sounded wrong when I said it. Cistern's been dropped down.
He did open mill. He did open mill, so that probably means he's going to go Hippodrome, yeah.
Okay. I'm getting excited
Almost
now.
Definitely.
Yeah, onto those early berries right now. See, you've got quite a couple.
And I think Mokomi did actually scout that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he just passed his scout by there.
Well, that could be crucial then. If he can see that in time and react, then Yeah, there it goes right there.
And he has a lot of sheep.
Yeah, and that's really good for him. You know, if
Yeah.
he's getting pressured, you're going to want that safe food. It's going to be good for him. Well, then, if you're Mokomi and you see that, or sorry, if you're Mokomi and you see soldiers see that, do you pivot then? I mean, you're kind of already stuck with the mill now, right? So
I think
stuck.
you have to go with the Hippodrome here, but the question is, what does Mokomi do? Like on a map like this, on Cliffside, it can be very difficult to defend against Hippodrome, even if you know it's coming.
Yeah.
So I wonder, maybe he could even try to go 1TC. I don't know, maybe he doesn't have any experience with that, with Abba, just because the 2TC has been popular for so long, but yeah, I don't know, we'll see.
It'll be really interesting, because, I mean, he could get that military wing, but I feel like those couple units, they're great and all, but I don't know if they would be enough to handle a full all-in Hippodrome rush from soldiers.
I'm not sure what you go, though.
Yeah.
If you're not going military wing into Byzantines.
Yeah, it feels like you don't have a lot of great options if you're going to get rushed like this.
Yeah.
Oh, I see that those villagers on the gold right there, just within range of that cistern. That's a great placement of it, covering just the edge of the berries, covering the sheep, and just getting those villagers. That's an awesome range for that.
And he's going to put that second cistern right beside that wood line, too, so it's going to buff up the villagers like on that wood for a long time.
Out on the berries to start, obviously. He's going to send some of those back in here just a second. It is going to be military wing, and we are going to get the Imperial Hippodrome. So mark that on your bingo cards, everybody. This has been a fun series of things I would not have expected going in, but I am definitely here for it.
It's not bad. Hippodrome can be very good. It's just...
It's circumstantial, right?
Yeah, I think... yeah, it's just situational for sure.
I've seen it used a lot against, like, currently on the pit, if you're playing into English with Byzantines. I've seen it used a lot for some pressure. This matchup obviously makes a lot of sense as well.
And he is going to go for that second TC, though, so he thinks, okay, I have to go second TC anyway.
I'm curious if that'll make him be a little more conservative with that placement, because I'm looking at the map, trying to see where he might put it. It feels like a lot of his resources are forward.
Well, I think he did a good opening here going onto berries, right? Because, I mean, Soldier's been aggressive throughout this entire series. Maybe he knew that the Hippodrome was a pretty good chance of occurring, so he wants to get that food at very early in the game so he can stay on that safe sheep later in the game.
Yeah.
And he might even push that deer in, which would be super nice to do, and to put that TC right on that wood line.
Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty good, you know, kind of in the back then. Then it's a longer walk distance to get there to pressure, then they'd be hard to reinforce. I mean, obviously, you know, horsemen are pretty quick and all, but... Yeah, Hippodrome almost complete. Military wing has 7 seconds left. He's completely on the stone. Looks like he should have enough here soon. Those military wing units obviously going to be hoping to either press and put some pressure or at least defend initially.
Ooh, he's a bit supply block there.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Don't know where the house was built, but those units are finally coming out.
And we see the first unit coming out of the Imperial Hippodrome right now as we speak. Obviously going to be looking for some pressure here. And boy, this is going to be another exciting game. I'm getting excited. We see the military wing units heading up over the hill, trying to go towards Soldier's base.
I think the big question now is what mercenaries does he go? So, I mean, the most obvious option would be just to go those longbowmen, but I think Keshex can be pretty good with the Hippodrome just because they also get that active ability going for them. Oh, wow.
Going for it. That was kind of a risky place to put that. Was hoping to get there early, and he's going to lose a villager just like that. First one falls before the units come in.
Yeah.
That was a really risky tower. I'm surprised he went for it. I like the aggression, but losing a vill like that does not feel good, and the tower just sitting there now uncompleted.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about the reasoning why he went for that tower, right? Because he did actually scout the berries, and he knew that he wasn't going in winery, so against the Uri horseman, it's obviously very difficult to tower your opponent.
Yeah, maybe he just misunderstood what that was going to be. Maybe he didn't quite know that that was what was coming. Hard to say.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask him afterwards what his thought process was there. But
6 stone off there.
Yeah, that's going to be rough. And this is going to matter here in about 2 seconds as those horsemen come in. He doesn't have quite enough. They didn't get the drop-off in. He's going to have to hold off on the town center for a little bit. And, you know, that idle time alone is brutal. I think he might have enough there.
Yeah,
okay,
I think he did.
He's going to be good. But
yeah.
Ooh, close. But the Goldville now in danger as well. And that it might be going down here in a second. I think one hit. Nope. The spear just in time. Yeah. The last thing you want to do is, you know, lose units when you're trying to push all in like this. And if he's even going all in, he's not making any more units at the moment. He only got the 3 horsemen and 1 archer.
He is going archers. That tells me it could be Keshex. Like, it might definitely be Keshex then.
That would make sense, right? Not needing to double up on range units then. He's got enough oil right now. He's got almost 700 in the bank. See some spears trying to push back the last of the horsemen there. Waiting to see when that town center is going to pop up. We're just waiting on the wood count to come in. He's almost there. Just needs a little bit more, and he'll be able to drop it. Yeah, lots of sheep still alive. He's got some time, and it's going to be a pretty conservative spot. Deletes the mining camp, actually, to make room for it.
I think that's a pretty good option as well, because one of these issues when you're being rushed in positions like these is just getting your blacksmith upgrades. It can be very difficult. Just because you're playing very passively in the opening beginning, just trying to pump out enough units to defend, getting onto gold can be a big issue.
Exactly. We are going to get the Western contract, so it is going to be longbow still. He's just making some archers just to kind of deal with the military wing units initially, it seems.
I would have loved to see Cash X, but obviously longmen are very good. So
yeah, it's kind of like good, better. They're both very viable, very useful. And there's the first one in queue right now. And yeah, just kind of sitting out there in the middle of the map, waiting for those to come in. And the second town center going up. And now the big question is, can Mokomi hold this, right? I mean, this is kind of how Mokomi likes to play. It hasn't, frankly, gone super well for him so far in this tournament. He's been trying to go for the eco boom, hasn't quite gotten it to pay off entirely. He's hoping to make this series extend a little bit with the win here right now. Horsemen backing off from the spears. Good hold here, good pull from SoldieR as well, not to lose any of those horsemen.
So yeah, Mokomi's options here, and as I was saying, it looks like he just opened a stable there. He was just producing a horseman, and there it goes again. Because he didn't go the Cash X and he's running this like horseman archer comp, you can kind of overwhelm them with horsemen if you maybe open double stable, which is an option. But SoldieR has a lot on gold, so it looks like he might be going castle.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have the income for that very soon. I mean, and he's got the ability to do that. He does going to get wheelbarrow, so he's going to have to afford that, and he probably could still go castle in just a minute here.
You know what? I think he's going to go Cistern of the Hill.
You think?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, that'll be exciting.
I mean, if Mokomi overreacts to this pressure, which, I mean, you see the hippodrome, you think he's owning me, right? And he goes like too many horsemen and the cataphracts come out, like he might be like dead at that point.
Yeah, we see walls coming up right now, archers coming around, following the scout. What do you think about those walls right there? I mean, obviously he needs to make sure he doesn't get, wrapped around from the back of his base. Those walls are going to be going up. I don't know if they'll be up in time. It looks like he's going to get the bottom, but those archers kind of pulling back and remassing along with the longbows.
Yeah, I think the walls are obviously good. You should get walls whenever you can, but you need to be aware of where your opponent's army is. Like, you can't build the walls and not know where the horsemen are, because they're just going to come out of nowhere and just kill those vills.
Exactly. And speaking of horsemen, there is something wrapping around the back of this base. These archers are just kind of standing there menacingly, getting a couple shots. They're going to get a vill pick right on the gold. Ooh. And another, perhaps?
Oh, that's painful.
Oh, that might have been 2. He's gotten 3 total kills. The horsemen wrapping on the back right now. These longbows trying to back up. There's enough of them that I think they can handle this pretty well. Yeah, the horseman goes down. And now the military of SoldieR all in one piece, all together. The wall still up and down a couple vills. Mokomi really not liking this. You've got another town set up, but you're only at 34 to 33.
Okay. I was wrong.
Well, we can't always be off meta, I suppose.
Yeah.
There is indeed the Golden Horn Tower. I mean, but still, Castle Age, that initial flux, I mean, he can now go Varangian Guards right into this, right?
Yeah, and Mokomi is so far off castle. I think if he was doing a very good job scouting, he might know that this all-in push isn't coming, and he seems to be aware. He's getting that wheelbarrow, and he's not too worried, it seems like, about any units coming over.
Yeah, Scout just kind of sitting at home, as the observer's pointing out very vehemently to us. Yeah, just sitting at home, not getting any more information, and we know that information is just so critical. We hear a charge coming in from the back. Horseman trying to deny the wall, getting in just in time. It's got to be so frustrating. And with the Triumph activating, getting out unscathed.
Yeah, and a bit of a mistake with the Triumph, but he's doing a fantastic job, just like... And this is like... can separate people from like being like fantastic pro just to being like, even like Conqueror 3 to Conqueror 4, as people say, right? Like, he's just always active on the map. He's always keeping his opponents honest, like, so that he can't get away with any walls on the map or any like villas in an unsafe location.
Yeah, we see that the chase is on from Mokomi, trying to get those guys to go all the way back from where they came. They're just going to run around the base a little bit. Mokomi now up a couple vills, but he's lost 5 total. So the pressure from SoldieR, while going up the castle at the same time, has been really, really effective so far.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think because he didn't go Sister on the first hill, he wants to build these men-at-arms here and just maybe like dive under the TC almost. Yeah,
definitely. We don't see any in the queue just yet, but he's probably putting production buildings down. Meanwhile, the horseman's still running around, and it just feels like Mokomi's just kind of looking around, trying to wall in, turtle up a little bit, but by the time he gets turtled, it feels like those men-at-arms might be coming down the hatch.
Yeah, okay, there's the first racks. Yeah, it does look like men-at-arms here.
Oh, are we going to see cataphracts? We're starting to see maybe that is an option as well. Could go for cataphracts. I'm not sure how effective that would be. But then again, you know, your opponent's not up in age yet, so you could.
Yeah, SoldieR is producing the Varangian guards, though, and look at Mokomi. He's got 6 spearmen and 2 in production.
And he's nowhere near castle age. Yeah, this is going to be very, very rough for Mokomi. And this is kind of the answer, and this is why the feudal aggression into quick castle age has been the meta, is because the timing push is so good when someone's just trying to play passive into 2 town centers.
Yeah, especially against Abba, right? They have a difficult time at finding an opportunity to attack against Byzantine between that transition.
Yeah, we see the army's kind of playing some cat and mouse, kind of going back and forth. Barry's totally consumed. Still have some there on the map. Horseman looking for another bit of an angle of attack. Not going to be able to find one. Mokomi playing very defensively here, but the archers, longbowmen, and Varangian guards starting to mass up here on the sacred site.
I think Mokomi has to commit to feudal at this point because he's not going to get castle in time. Like, we obviously know that he doesn't, but and the one way he can slow SoldieR down is harassing his food income. And because he didn't go that Grand Winery, he is out on this map food, and it is potentially a way to come back in this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, Mokomi is very much macroed to castle age, very much not producing any units. So this is a scary situation. Where is it going to be a castle in the GG when the Varangian guards come crashing in? There's only 6 right now, but we also have 3 Lance Connect already coming out as well as a longbow still in the field. Meanwhile, a dive under the tower. Horseman looking for some more hits.
But he is doing a good job. He's trying to buy himself enough time to hit this castle age, getting some good raids and slowing SoldieR down. But unfortunately, his macro is just a bit off, floating too much food here.
Yeah, almost 2,000 food. Doesn't have quite enough gold. Has it now. He could age up. I expect to see that any second now. And there's the economic wing coming in. What do you think of that choice?
I
mean,
I think like the culture wing is a bit better just because he doesn't have that much gold for upgrades, but it's not like a huge deal for Abu.
It feels kind of similar, right?
Yeah, it's not like that bad either way.
But this is a big mass coming down Mokomi's front door, and they're gunning straight for the gold bills, and Lance Connect are going to eat this whole composition up, I feel like, with the Varangian guards to help. A couple of picks there, villagers going down.
And I don't even think he has +1 damage Pierce armor, so that is going to be an issue for him as well.
Yeah, definitely. We see the Varangian guards just kind of taking the arrow fire as if it's not a big problem. They don't seem to mind that much. They're just going to back up. Yeah, the +1 pierce damage is actually in research production right now for Mokomi, but not yet. So those Varangian guards got off a little bit easy. And, you know, to Mokomi's credit, he's still looking for places to poke and prod, but those 3 horsemen don't have a lot of health, and they're not a big mass. He is idling out 7, though, from SoldieR. Just kind of standing there.
I think he's doing a fantastic job with this raiding. He's buying himself a lot more time than I think he should have got away with here. And he does have 2 camera archers in production, which means he has ranges out on the field to build crossbows immediately.
Yeah, and that could be his saving grace, right? Because there's not a ton. 8 Varangian guards, while scary, is not game-ending by any means. And he does have 2 town centers. We do see the village lead slowly ticking in his favor. Now, the cistern count, I'm not sure how many cisterns are on the field, but I imagine we're probably already up to 3 cisterns at this point, or at least close to it.
But I think without the Grand Winery, the cisterns aren't as impactful, though, for sure.
Yeah, in fact, we only have 2, so that one's not connected. We've got an idle villager standing right there. Oh, that feels kind of bad. And that's a break for Mokomi, though. That could give him a small window to get back in this.
And sometimes you don't have enough stone, you don't connect it, you say, okay, I'll connect it in the next 15 seconds, and you just forget.
15 minutes later happen, right? Yeah, exactly. We do have a lot of Varangian guards walking down, looking for some side resources to kind of harass. They know that he's going to need food eventually, right? Now, he's on the deer pack. Mokomi's got some food in the back, but the problem with turtling is you either have to farm transition, which slows you down, or you have to go out and get food. He's not going to have food in a little bit, but he does have a lot on gold right now, at least.
Yeah, Mokomi did a very good job finding himself back into this game, right? I mean, he's still down in military, but and he might have an issue getting onto food. But if he lives for the next 2-3 minutes, he's going to be winning, I'd say.
Yeah, he's definitely able to hold on. Looks like he's got, I mean, a lot of idle villagers, and the food income just kind of slams shut right now. That's kind of a bad time for it. He's getting Fertile Crescent right now. He's going to see that there is a force trying to get through the wall in the back. Thankfully, he only loses 2 villagers. Doesn't feel great, but, you know, could have been the entire, imagine if he had sent those out a moment ago and then just got him trapped. But he's setting them back as the Varangian Guards wrap around this, looking to find some picks. They're going to find some Lancers for their greed.
Yeah, I like this. Like, the Lancers are expensive, but again, he's just trying to buy himself like a few more minutes to you know, get from transition a few mangonels, just get a few more minutes to,
he does have,
get his army.
He does have those berries as well. He, he wants some food. He's got some. There's nothing really to the north of him, though. If you look at the north, he's got gold, and that's it. He's got like those berries, and the berries in the bottom corner are kind of it. So he really does need to kind of get the swarm transition underway.
Pushing out here is definitely a mistake, though. Like, he realizes that, but he lost a few units, unfortunately for him. I
will point out the army value currently is in favor of Mokomi as far as the value goes. He is making a lot of premium units. I mean, those Lancers, the Camel Archers. He's got units, and he does have some Ghulams on the field.
Yeah, it's bugs, but but he can defend, I think, as long as he stays within these TCs for sure.
Yeah, he definitely can at least be alive. I like that he's trying to get some pressure as well. We got the spears in the back of a soldier's base trying to chase those two Lancers down. Meanwhile, he's floating gold though. Yeah, 12 on gold. Doesn't have a lot of food. I would
love to see a mangonel, like, and that's like something that you can do very easily when you have this much on gold, and you can't count on food. Is you can build that siege unit that just doesn't cost any food.
Exactly. Those Lancers in the back corner are dying. We do have a skirmish up in the middle. Big fight here. Able to push this away. This is going to be a tough fight. We see the spears trying to get in there. The Varangian Guards and Ghulams going at it. The Camel Archers in the back with crossbows trying to thin out the front line of SoldieR. But there's a lot of archers and longbows in this mass.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the worst fight. He's not really targeting the crossbowmen, and he doesn't have anything to deal with these Ghulams, so I think he could have microed that a bit better, but pretty good fight from Mokomi.
And he really needed this, right? I mean, the more time he buys himself, the more ahead he can get. Because again, there is no Grand Winery here. And so he can get some time. You know, we are looking at there's some relics being taken by SoldieR. I think that's a really good call personally. And then he's also going for the sacred sites. Getting that extra gold income is going to help him kind of keep up with Mokomi's boom in the back of this. And we do see the farm transition as I speak as well. 14 farms and counting.
Yeah, and that engagement bought him some room to go into that berries at the south there. So that's going to help him just kind of produce some units in the meantime.
We see the cisterns still not connected. Minutes later, does feel kind of bad. A lot of broken up cisterns out there. We see a raid happening. Some Lancers getting a Vil kill right there. And now it's 10-6, and that feels pretty good when you've been on TCs the entire game.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job just like continuously raiding. Yeah.
This is exactly the kind of game that Mokomi was telling me he wanted to play.
They're getting a bit cornered here, unfortunately.
Yeah, bit greedy. Bit greedy. Is that one going to survive? I don't know. No, not quite. But nonetheless, you know, he's brought the Vil totals. I mean, it's 10 kills to 7, and you're up now a sizable number of eco. And Ghulams getting through a gap in the wall, finding another hit, getting in, but they're not really they're not going to be able to stay in there. But funny little gap in there. I wonder how that happened.
And yeah, SoldieR, like you said, is getting the relics, but I think Mokomi shouldn't be too worried about that, right? He's 30 Vils up. He doesn't want to maybe go to Imp, but if he can end this in like Castle Age, wait, early Imp, then with the Vil lead, he's going to be happy.
Yeah, we do see some siege being built. Mokomi getting 2 Springolds on the field. That's going to be a great thing into this composition because we got a lot of, you know, units susceptible to that. We got the Limitane, we've got the Lance Connect, we've got crossbows. All of those very susceptible to heavy mango fire.
Yeah. And the 16 Golems are going to... Actually, I was saying he didn't have too much of a counter to the Golems, but he does have Lance Connect out now, and he is building crossbowmen, so...
Yeah, that advantage is kind of gone. They did I think they did their poor purpose, though, right? They gave him enough of front line to take out that initial fight, which really helped them get that farm transition.
I would love to see Archers, actually, from Mokomi. Those,
yeah.
Because SoldieR, I mean, he has 8 Varangian Guards, but that's not enough to deal with the composite bows if you were to choose that.
Yeah, I mean, he does have military man. Good mango shot, getting a couple units there. And the military mass of SoldieR having to run back behind this. Looks like there's going to be a bit of a fight on the sacred side. They come back running back and forth, playing some cat and mouse on this hill. Another mango shot fires long distance, gets a Lance Connect for its effort. And now they're just kind of getting ready for a big engagement here as they both charge in. Front line mango's firing, hitting the back line, a great hit, smacking down right in the middle of the mass. And the Ghulams just wrapping around. Another shot fires right in the middle, another excellent direct hit.
Wow, yeah, Mokomi is doing a fantastic job maybe even winning at this point.
I would say so. I mean, these walls are a bit slow, but at this point, he's feeling good. And his eco in behind this is completely developed. The wall goes down. Mangonels keep coming in. There's no Springolds in production queue. There's nothing that really can get to these things.
I think, yeah, he definitely is winning, actually. He's up 40 supply, and yeah, SoldieR does not have an answer for these Mangonels.
Yeah, he really doesn't. There's nothing in the queue, nothing he can do for it. Another shot fired, 2 hits landing. Big hits. These Mangonels are really putting in some damage.
The emplacement there on that Mangonel tower, oh, well, these Mangonels are going
to torch it down now. Yeah. Those Mango Towers are really difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
See,
if it had that fortification there.
Oh, yeah. No, it's going to go down instead. We do see SoldieR trying to keep up. Mango shot still going, aiming for hitting.
Oh, he connected it.
He connected, but now he's going to get destroyed here now. The Mango shot's connecting with it. Firing over the wall this time, over the cistern, hitting another couple longbows and archers. Pretty big mass, and you know, behind this, Mokomi's feeling really much on the driver's seat right now.
Yeah. And this is like the exact point he wants to end the game, right? Like he doesn't have any relics. Like he's not really playing for the late game. He wants to end the game soon.
Yeah, we do see a Springald on the field and one in production queue. So SoldieR is getting himself enough time. Got one Springald, trying to get the snipe on that. I'd love to see Mokomi maybe bring a villager trying to repair what the mangoes he has.
Not quite killing it.
Trying to snipe it, got halfway there. That was a good attempt. I like the aggressiveness from Mokomi there. As his army has to kind of fall back. I do see there's that one villa I was hoping to see, getting the repairs on the mango. And now on top of the sacred site, Mokomi trying to hold back the SoldieR, trying to push his army forward. And again, back and forth, but long term, I think Mokomi still, even with the relics in hand for SoldieR, I think Mokomi's got a good shot here of making this go a 2-1 game.
SoldieR bought himself a bit of time there, but I mean, now he's getting like destroyed in this fight.
Big mango shots, and Springald took care of one of the Springolds. We have the second one having to retreat in the corner.
And look at the incomes, 2.8 almost food for Mokomi.
Yeah, at this point, Mokomi just needs the gold to keep producing the units he wants, right? Yeah, horsemen coming in. I love his addition of a couple of horsemen just to take care of some of the longbows and some of the crossbows as he can get to them. 105 villagers, and he's got 53 farms. Mokomi can do this all day. It's going to come down to, however, the gold on those cliffs. And so eventually we're going to have to see him find some kind of way of maintaining this long term. He's hoping to end this one quick as the big mass of Ghulams just diving right into the base. Crossbow's holding this, though. They're going to have to back up a little bit.
Yeah, no, Lance Connect's got some nice hits, though.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like it's enough. Mokomi's still at 280 food income as well.
Yeah, this has been a very back and forth game, but I just have to wonder, like, you know, at what point SoldieR's sitting on 1,000 gold, 1,000 wood. His food's not as great, though. You know, he doesn't have as much. Again, the cistern, I think, playing in that he doesn't have the Grand Winery.
Yeah,
the cisterns are great, but the Grand Winery's not there, so his food eco and the olive grove oil isn't as much, and still trying to connect all of them to get that bonus. So he's been kind of handicapping himself with the lack of cisterns there. We see walls coming up on the middle, and see, this is what I was hoping to see. Mokomi needs to secure gold, and now he's going to start doing so. It's a big military mass.
Yeah, he's finally spending all of his res there. He's got 22 units in production, and some horsemen as well.
I mean, you don't really want to give your opponent a lot of breathing room here, right?
Yeah,
you want to keep the foot on the gas. But at what point do you start thinking maybe Imperial Age?
I think he just wants to, like, if I was out of here, I'd want to end it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it can be difficult. Sometimes, like, if SoldieR had, like, a few fortified mangonel towers, I think that's, like, the best option he should take for sure.
Yeah, we see the big mass of Ghulams, crossbows, and siege coming in. This time with 3 Springolds. Now, we've got 5 in the queue for SoldieR right now. He's got 2 in the field, 5 in the queue. He does not want to deal with this. We see some break in the aqueduct as water starts spilling out. And, you know, SoldieR's trying to kite these guys back, but there's not really a whole lot of places for them to fall back. It's into the eco he goes.
Yeah, and 5 Springolds are not enough. Like, Mokomi has a bigger infantry army here as well.
Yeah, that said, the front line holding up so far. Those Lance Connects putting in some good work. Another mango shot, though, hitting the crossbows in the back line. And, you know, if you look at the numbers, I mean, 66 eco to 118 looks really rough. Meanwhile, double the number of military supply as well. Crossbows pretty much right on top of the Lance Connects, though, but getting some shots in.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time. Like, SoldieR's not even taking, like, bad fights here, but he's just completely outmassed.
Yeah. I mean, he's taking some good trades, but again, he just can't keep replenishing. It's the speed at which Mokomi can replace these units is just overwhelming. Yeah, 15 more Ghulams in the queue. We've got some more horsemen coming up, some more siege.
I think a forward keep, like last game, would have really, like, secured the lead for Mokomi here. Because SoldieR just, he doesn't have the army to. Oh my God, it was disconnected again.
No. Oh boy, I mean this is a rough one for SoldieR, right?
That one cistern that just connects them all is just being continuously destroyed.
Yeah, well, and that's a huge hit to the economy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that slows it down by so much.
And the production as well.
And so, I mean, again, Mokomi's double almost the eco, double the military. I mean, what's SoldieR's avenue back into this game?
I mean, I think he just needs to build static D and slow the game down as much as possible.
Yeah, we see Mokomi going out for the gold, knowing that that's got to be something for in case long term. We've actually got a scout, a little spy sheep there, right on the gold for SoldieR, so he's going to see this.
I don't know if that's intentional, but
I doubt it. I think he lost a scout there, but you know, I think I like to think it was intentional. Never underestimate the power of a sheep, I say. Yeah, we've got Golden Age 2, more, you know, more TCs coming up.
yeah,
this is gonna be 3 TCs to try and get back in the game.
for sure. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what he did last game too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just added a bunch of talent centers when water wasn't going as great.
And he has some mangonels. That's going to help, like especially in these choke points that Mokomi keeps running into. If he just continuously takes good fights, he might be able to come back.
Yeah, Mokomi sitting on 3,900 food. He really should sell some of that off. Maybe he could just buy Imperial at this point.
He should. I think he just did. Maybe not. It looked like it. Yeah.
Yep, there he goes, Culture Wing. Okay. Yep, indeed, there he goes. Well, I guess great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Here comes the mass from SoldieR looking to maybe press. I like that Mokomi's going to try for the Sacred Site here. I hope he can get the other one as well. That'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, when you're just continuously attacking, like, it's very difficult for your opponent to stop those Sacred Site timers.
The third one, of course, is very much in control of SoldieR, so we can't have a Sacred Site play. Now, I like that keep there. That's what you were talking about. Maybe dropping a keep. Maybe not quite as aggressive as we were hoping for, but I like that it secures the gold right there.
It's still a very good position for sure.
Yeah, and the army's kind of back and forth. Both are kind of walling in. This one, again, going late, but I've got to give credit to Mokomi here. He's definitely ahead, and Imperial Age could be the spike that he needs. Meanwhile, SoldieR trying to push in with what he has.
Yeah, I think Mokomi is kind of making a mistake, just like continuously running into the center here. Like he's ignoring the rest of the map, and he could be kind of taking advantage of his bigger army, I think.
Yeah, that tunnel vision's a real thing, and he definitely has been trying to push down the middle, He's getting the next Sacred Site as well, so a little extra gold income for him. That will help. This is a lot of crossbows.
Yeah, at this point, though, SoldieR has evened out the military value, and he's almost got a bigger army. The only thing he's missing is Imperial.
Yeah, and, you know, even once Mokomi gets to Imperial, he has to wait for those upgrades to get in. And so this push could be well timed by SoldieR. This might luck out for him. He's got the Springles to keep the siege at bay as well.
Yeah, Mokomi does not have the siege to actually deal with this army, so he's kind of scared to engage.
Yeah, we don't even see his military anywhere in sight. They are back inside the base, not wanting to deal with this right now, waiting for those Imperial upgrades. Here he goes, starting to target down all of that.
I think he's trying to get some culverins out.
Yeah.
Then he has those 2 siege workshops closer to his TC there, which
probably be better call to use those. Yeah. Mangonel finishing off that production building right there. They are going to start targeting down the siege workshop here in a second. I think we'll look for some other things. He is, however, pop capped. I mean, he's got 200 of 200 supplies, so he needs to honestly throw some units away somehow, if in some productive way, if he can.
Yeah, I think Mokomi definitely needs to like throw in some raids. Like he can just do it with crossmen and golems as well. It doesn't need to be those horsemen.
Yeah, and we see some pressure now being applied into the base, putting Mokomi kind of in a precarious spot, right? If he can hold this for a little bit, get up into all those upgrades, he'd be in a good spot. Meanwhile, though, SoldieR is stacking up food at least, and he's got some gold. It's going to take a little bit for him, but he could maybe go Imperial as well in a little bit.
Yeah, man, watching these games, it makes me realize, like, I feel like some people have very difficult time ending games. Like, Mokomi was in a very, very good spot, and now, I mean, SoldieR's up to 92 bills. He's going in. Like, he's not in a bad position, almost, like I'd say.
There's a road to victory, we could see, you know, and it was looking really dire, but he's got the cisterns fixed. He's back online. Things are good. A lot of it's just, like, once you get that breathing room, right?
Yeah.
You can just kind of stabilize, and if your opponent lets you in, you can find
And it looks like SoldieR's even heading back now, so he realizes, okay, I'm just going to go imp. I don't have to end the game. I'm not going to try to throw my position away.
Cistern's still not all the way functional. Got some still broken bits here and there. Man, this has just been plaguing poor SoldieR. I mean, we do have some Kuro Seafins out there trying to burn
some
stuff down.
cataphracts too.
And some cataphracts, yeah. You know, that could be... they're fun. They're fun. I don't know if they're super effective in this. I mean, maybe if they want to go in and snipe some siege, maybe. But with this kind of masses, it gets kind of hard. Yeah, you know, and then looking late game, obviously Abbasid's really effective as a late game civ, but so is Byzantines. They really can hold on their own later in the games as well. And there it is, foreign engineering company being built as we speak, going up in a jiffy.
Ooh, yeah, engaging that keep is not a good idea, though, I think.
Yeah, 2 Kilo Steven's not going to be able to do a lot. And meanwhile, this is Mokomi's chance to try and punish this a little bit. Most of his upgrades are in. He's getting a couple more behind this, trying to push. Crossbows, looking for some shots. Mangoes going up. I don't think he's got any other sprinkles in the area.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake, too. I think he had the springboard range, so he could have potentially out-microed soldiers.
Mango shots not hitting the back line, going for the front line instead. So those crossbows are still in operation. Springboard immediately getting sniped, though.
This front line, though, I mean, Soldier is losing his entire front line here, and he might just lose the siege because of it as well.
Yeah, big shot from the Mangoes. Kind of a bit of a half dodge there. Didn't lose as much as I was going to think. And there comes an emergency keep coming up for Soldier, trying to hold the line.
Wow. Oh my gosh, just when I thought Soldier could come back, he kind of takes a pretty poor engagement.
Yeah, pretty rough one. This keep will help if he gets it up, but I think Mokomi, he has the range to just really punish this.
Yeah, and he's still at 200 supply. He's going to keep diving this keep maybe, even if it goes up.
Yeah, look at the military numbers right now, 71 to 17. There is no military for Soldier. He has lost everything. This might just be game.
Yeah.
I mean, now Mokomi just
look at
needs to
this.
close it.
Yeah, he's just keep pushing, like, because he just can afford to throw away these units.
Yeah, he needs to get, honestly, he needs to get some siege in the queue. He needs to get something that can close the game. The crossbows aren't really something you want to dive in with, but man, he's in a good spot. I mean, your opponent has no military on the field right now.
Oh my, and he's at 90 supply. Wow.
Just again, backing off a little bit. Again, like, you can't, it's kind of hard to torch it when you got built to the side. Just like that culverin we were talking about.
He needs to just, like, run past it or something, because he's at full supply. He doesn't need the 40 expos. Like, he needs to...
Why is he going for trade when he's got gold available still?
He needs the way to get rid of these crossbows efficiently.
Yeah, Mokomi building a market in the corner. I'm not terribly sure I agree with that choice, but still looking for a way to close the game. I think you nailed it on the head, actually. He seems to struggle with finding a way to finish this, because he's in a great position right now. And he was in an awkward spot for a moment, but then he recovered really well with an excellent engagement against Soldier that Soldier really should have backed off from.
And he's going to go around the keep. He's taking the safe approach just rather than running by it, which is, you know, it's understandable. But, yeah, I mean, he's got, like, so much bank here compared to Soldier.
Yeah, he's got a big bank. He's got a big mass. He's at 200 of 200, and it's only 109 supply for Soldier. Like, it looks grim in my mind. But, I mean, every time we say that, they kind of hold in for a little longer, so we'll see. But
and look, he's got siege to deal with it. I mean, if that's one way to come back in the game, like...
I mean, imagine all 4 of those things shooting at the same time, hitting the mass. I mean, this right here is a big mass. However, a lot of horsemen and stuff in front, and it's exposed. He could run in and dive that if he sees it. I don't think Mokomi sees the siege, though. Yeah, and it's running back. He knows there's too much of a front line to deal with it right now.
He really needs to stop building expos. Yeah, it's very difficult to end the game when you have this many range units.
Yeah, I definitely agree. He definitely needs to just mass in. I almost want to see him just go Lancers at this point.
I think
something.
Horsemen.
Horsemen better? Yeah, I mean, probably Horsemen. I mean, I guess he doesn't really have the gold for it, but he definitely needs to spend the food he has at any rate. Oh, big shot there from the Mango. Only one Mango shot, though, not both.
That's one way to get rid of crossbow.
Yeah, just siege him down. That was some pretty big hit right there. There, the Culverin trying to take a shot back. Doesn't quite get rid of the nest of bees that was there. Man, that could have been way more catastrophic of a loss for Mokomi. It was a good hit from Soldier, but that could have been way, way more difficult. And now we wait. Remassing again. Soldier trying to get things going. You know, that villager graph starting to slowly come back. He's building more. I think he's on 3 TC still.
Yeah, I thought he would be a bit higher at this point. I'm not sure if he's idling a bit, but yeah, it's not as high as I would like it to be for him.
Yeah, it is creeping back slowly, though. He is trying to take control of the mass. We do see villagers building a tower. Nest of Bees taking a pot shot, gonna miss.
I don't think he realizes how far behind he is. He's like pushing out in the center. Like,
but imagine if Mokomi could just find a way into the base.
Yeah.
That's stone wall? Oh, it is. Stone walls in the gold. Oh, and it works!
Kill the Culverin, though.
They can't get through. He hasn't realized that.
Yeah.
And the Culverin is taking pot shots at the Horsemen. What a thing to see. Stone walls coming out from Mokomi. This is very defensive. I feel like he should have been kind of on the aggressive here. But again, I guess he's still on crossbows.
Yeah.
Big shots coming in. Trying to get through. This is going to be just a speed bump at this point if there's nothing to defend it. Meanwhile, eco numbers still slowly creeping up. He's got 18.
Mokomi is finally getting bombards out. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he definitely needs to tear down the production buildings and stuff.
he can end the game with it, because I mean it's tough to watch him struggle so much to end the game for sure.
Yeah, he's sitting on almost 8,000 food, almost 2,000 wood and gold. He's been at 200 population for a long time. SoldieR's still only at 155.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like in a head-on fight, Mokomi should still win.
SoldieR seems a bit confused at what composition to make. Like, he is at 150 pop, but he's also floating a bunch of res. I don't know if that's because he doesn't have enough production or if he just doesn't know what to make here.
Yeah, we do see some Imperial Age upgrades coming in, those crossbow shots now.
Ooh, the 36-minute timing siege engineering upgrade here.
Oh, I'd love to see it. You know what this game needs is more on-the-field built Kurosifans. That's funny.
Yeah.
I guess he's probably just clicking all of them at this point. You know, you're just getting all of them while you can. And yeah, now it feels like they're kind of just... I feel like Mokomi's really letting SoldieR get back into this game slowly. But I don't know how he's going to close it out. Yeah, he's just going to sit back and let him do this.
I don't know what's going on. Like, maybe Mokomi thinks the game is closer than it actually is. Like, he might think SoldieR is not in a bad position at all. I don't know.
Well, and you remember that he's also on game point right now, and this is an elimination round. I think Mokomi's playing not to lose. And he's not really playing to win this game per se. He's trying to play. He's playing a bit more defensively because he knows if he overextends ever, it's over.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that goes into the back of his mind. Pretty good engagement here with those crossbowmen able to take some shots. The horsemen can't quite get in. Kind of a weird clump up there as they try to hop on the wall. Over and taking pot shots. This is a very odd engagement to watch. Yeah. Meanwhile, Gulam's still coming out, still making crossbows. He is adding some lancers in. 10 of them in the queue right now, and hand cannons as well. That said, he still has the edge militarily.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, he can just push the center, I think, with the bombarders and the culverins, but
he just needs to protect the siege, which he has stuff to do. I mean, he's got 3 culverins on the field. I mean, that could take care of every bit of siege that SoldieR can even make. And there we go. Bombard's finally hitting the keep, and now I think we're starting to see what might be Mokomi's big Imperial push.
I think he has his army up at the western side there or something like that. I don't know what he's doing.
It's hard to see. Meanwhile, he's broken through on the other side. He's sending a little expeditionary force over here to the side where there are stone walls.
Okay, that's a good idea, I think. I thought it was a bit more, but just that small army should be able to do some work.
And here comes a push into the siege. Front line, not very big front line for Mokomi right here, though. These bombards are in trouble.
Yeah, and all these crossmen are pretty well as well. And like I said, it'd be nice to get rid of them, but also like they're protecting the siege at this point. Like he doesn't want to lose these siege either.
Yeah, the siege is so big. He did get the keep down, so he's gotten some value out of the bombards at least. But still, losing 2 or 3 culverins in one of the 2 bombards doesn't feel great. That said, Mokomi is still, I think,
oh my gosh,
on top of this for the most part.
Even SoldieR at this point has a big bank. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I think maybe they're tired.
I think it's the gold supply for SoldieR. He doesn't have a lot of gold behind this. I mean, he's getting gold, but I think he's just hard-pressed to spend it. Meanwhile, Mokomi, if you look in the corner, is breaking into the farms for SoldieR. Gulam's rushing in. This might just be it. Because once he hits the eco, I mean, granted, SoldieR's got a 7K bank, so he can keep going for a while. But this will definitely make it harder for him to keep bouncing back. At this point, I want to see Mokomi try and take down production buildings. You know, you got to stop your opponent from being able to resupply. Meanwhile, Bombard almost getting sniped out by the horsemen. They're not going to... Oh, you know, they might get the wrap on the other side. It's just trying to stay alive. It's down to almost no health. How did it get through? Somehow, it's still going. Spears now, and Cataphract's trying to get in. Hand cannon's trying to deal with the front line. It's still alive. Wow. I can't see how much HP it has, but it is very thin, and there's some villagers coming in to repair it as we speak.
Yeah, Mokomi's getting a very good raid on the backside too. He's killing farms, he's idling walkers, so maybe this is enough to kind of finally end the game here.
Yeah, and you know, worst comes to worst, SoldieR could say GG next, you know? If he could, it's not the end of the world for him. It's Mokomi he's on the back on the ropes here, but a win here extends the series. Gulam's taking care of the horsemen. You know, Gulams are going pretty well. I mean, there are some Streltsy coming in for SoldieR with the with the mercenary house. At this point, getting to laugh out. Relic has not been claimed, almost in the base. That's fun to see. Boy, I still don't know how SoldieR comes back and wins this, though. This is a big mass from Mokomi, and those raids in the back had to feel pretty bad. Crossbows and hand cannoneers doing a lot of work to that front line. Bombards are still behind this.
I think he's finally dead.
I think so.
If he doesn't die, then I'm confused. Like, he's got a bombard, he's got a bunch of melee units now. Like, I don't think SoldieR can defend.
Yeah, and you can see the military supply 62 to 26. Looks like the writing might just be on the wall. Landmark starting to go down now. SoldieR trying to mass up horsemen and archers behind this, but it's just not going to be able to deal with all this.
Yeah, I mean, even if he spends this bank that SoldieR has, like, what's he going to build? Like, horsemen and spearmen into a bunch of golems and lances? Like,
Exactly.
He's in a lot of trouble.
Well, right now, the gold coming in for SoldieR is mostly from those relics, which is about to go down as well. He's only got 200 of them coming in compared to 3,000 for Mokomi.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe this game is still going on.
Me too. And there it is.
There, yeah.
All right. Whew, I was going to say, if this doesn't end, I don't know what could.
Oh my gosh.
GG's. We are going to another extended series. No 3-0s here today. Not allowed on our watch. Man, what a game.
Yeah, I mean, Mokomi was in a very bad spot there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just I kind of forgot about the earlier game, but like Mokomi was in a pretty awful position, and he kept like raiding and kind of
those two like or horsemen or whatever that were in the back. The 2 or 3 horsemen doing some good work.
Yeah, he really got himself back into the game there.
Yeah, I mean, excellent hold, and that's exactly the kind of game he was telling me from day one that he wanted to execute. I think this is the first time he finally really felt like he could do it. Some struggles there towards the end, trying to finish things up a little bit. Just needed to kind of get that push in, but boy. Hey, he gets to extend the series now and has a chance to continue on still.
Yeah, I really hope that this next game, like, Mokomi finds, like, better ways to, like, end the game, because I feel like he puts himself in decent positions, but he is having a very difficult time at ending the games here.
Yeah, and you can see the military value. He was ahead for a long time. I mean, a very long time. And it felt very dire in the beginning, but he did a great job of just holding and holding and holding. You can see the economy count there really kind of telling the story as well, that he lost a couple vills, but then raiding 3 back, getting a couple of them back, letting those 2 TCs just kind of churn, really kind of saved him. And then, yeah, late game was late game, but well played by both. Well played. I'm curious, what do you expect out of Ayyubids here? What would you do going in this matchup?
Yeah, no, I think you just have to fast castle, right? Like, to avoid, like, fighting JD.
Go military wing first, then? Or do you take the 3 vills and try and go even quicker and then do military wing or something different?
I mean, you could do either or. Like, I think that's, like, the changes with, like, the military wing being nerfed. I think going 3 vills into fast H-up is viable. Same with just going military wing.
Military wing, yeah. They both, it's kind of like that opportunity cost. You want just the 3 vills to expedite your own eco? Do you want to do some damage? But we'll see what it is as we go into our next game. 2-1, Mokomi in the blue, playing as Ayyubids down in the southeast. Meanwhile, in the northwest, SoldieR playing as Jeanne of Arc.
So he has a front berry patch, which kind of sucks, but it looks like his gold is in the back there, which is probably a bit more important.
I think I would prefer to have it that way. I mean, I play a lot of Ayyubids. I feel like you're going for the berries first, right? And so most of them will be eaten before the first knights get in. Then you can just kind of fall back. If he gets a lot of sheep, I'm feeling pretty good with that, I suppose. As opposed to having, gold dead center or something.
Yeah, so I think the spawn is pretty good for Mokomi as well.
Yeah, we do see them both scouts in vision of each other, trying to gather some sheep. We see moving out onto some gold. It's kind of fun to see how fast they're just multitasking. We don't see that when we're in the caster observer mode, but Jeanne of Arc, of course, on the gold. Man, that was some good pickup by SoldieR there on the extra sheep there.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Mokomi's going to get a ton of sheep. We don't know exactly where the rest of the sheep on the map, but that's one way to win the game, is just to, like, food starve Ayyubids in Urian Castle.
Yeah, exactly. If he runs out of food, then going fast castle will be very, very vulnerable. Going to pick up 2 more here on the backside of this mountain range. We do see the House Wisdom being dropped, of course, as is expected, as he has no other alternative.
It almost looked like Mokomi just had, like, a frustrating, like, sigh there, and, like, it really does not look like he's going to get a lot of sheep in this position. Yeah,
and that feels so bad as Ayyubids too, and thankfully the RNG, you do get a little more sheep in your town center to start, but you want as much as you can get, and you don't want Jeanne of Arc to be able to stay safe with their food.
Especially with this front berries. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, rough start for Mokomi here. I'm really curious to see what wing we get. We're getting awfully close. Obviously, we know what SoldieR's going to do.
Maybe if you have less sheep, you go for the military wing, just because you actually don't spend the res on that unit. So technically, like, it's more you're saving more food that way.
Yeah, kind of extending the life of those sheep a little bit.
And he is going to go
Yeah,
military lane.
I'll say the other counter is he could go for the eco and make those berries a bit more fruitful, but then you're not going to get to use them because it's up from front. So yeah, military wing I think makes a lot of sense here. We do see the council hall, or sorry, School of Cavalry. Wow, council hall. Goodness. School of Cavalry coming up for Joan of Arc. She's building it herself as she always does.
Yeah, and she's just has one there. I know a lot of people.
There's two. What do you think of that? Yeah.
I think building one is pretty good, honestly. Like, especially in this matchup, right? You get the Uri Knight. Like, what does that really do for you? He's probably gonna have the camo, Desert Raider out. And if you build with one, you do get shown aged up a lot quicker to level 2. Well, yeah.
Yeah, and then she can move out towards those boar, of which I'm looking around the map. I see 1, 2, 3. Where's the fourth one at? I see 1, 2, 3. Are there only 3? Oh, there's 4. There's 4. Okay. Yeah. Most of the boar are a
Almost
lot
like a-
closer
yeah, I
to.
was
They're a
gonna
lot
say.
closer to Mokomi. We've got 3 on Mokomi's half the map and only 1 on Soldier's half the map. That's very odd. Would have expected the other one to be on the north side.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, that is a pretty good position to have the bull, but yeah, bit unfortunate that most are on Mokomi's side. Though.
Yeah, bit of a help there for Mokomi. And if he doesn't have that many sheep, he'll probably be happy for it. And obviously, he can't harvest them, but maybe even just to deny the XP for Joan of Arc. Getting close. A lot of deer packs. You know, there is a backberries there for Mokomi as well towards the mountainside. He could wall that
yeah,
in.
yeah, that's quite nice. It's kind of difficult to get that to position as well, especially if you wall like the left and right side though.
I worry about this. Personally, I would never do this. But obviously, I'm not as high ranking as you guys are, but I feel like going for stone here and a lot on it.
He's just getting the arrow swords.
Is there arrow slits, you think? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Just doing one drop off for it.
Oh,
I hope anyways.
maybe not. It looks like he's. Oh,
I
wait,
mean-
maybe he's getting the fortification. No, he's pulling back. Okay.
Okay, I was going to say, I hope it was just for the drop off. I would not want to do any more than that.
Looks like he mined just a bit more than he should have, but yeah.
Okay, just got
not
the
a disaster.
56. Yeah. Whew, I was going to say, he's not going to go for 2 town centers here with Ayyubids, right?
Yeah, that would have been nuts.
That'd been nuts. Yeah, no, there's the tower going up, and then, yeah, arrow slits.
Bit of a poor position, though, I feel like.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I mean,
I guess. I mean, it kind of cuts off the back line entirely from where it's at, right?
I think he needs to wall that right side, like, immediately in that situation, right? Because then JD can't come from the left side.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and if he walls that bottom side, then he can have, the berries down there, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, JD, that's a scout. I'm not sure where JD is at. I know she just leveled up. She's up for the archer
Yeah,
path.
I like this as well. He's being very greedy. He's trying to get all the berries. And as long as he scouts where JD is on the map and the knights, he's going to be safe to get away with
Yeah, and he
this.
does have units on there right now, so he knows exactly where they're at. Yeah, get every bit out of those as you can, because then, make those sheep last as long as possible. Desert Raider obviously running back home. Doesn't want to fight her head on. Doesn't want to give her the XP.
Bit of an engagement. It's a bit low, but...
Those things feel pretty squishy, to be fair, too. But, I mean, at least he knows where she's at, too, though, and he didn't kill it, at least. So, running it back home. Do you think she just takes the boar right here? No, she's going for the vills. Maybe back off afterwards.
She's going to poke the... Oh, if she has one, she can kill that bill. Oh, no, she's... Okay.
Saving it for the boar, maybe.
Yeah.
There's the knight taking it down. That'll be some XP for her right there. Yeah, and looking at it, looks like Mokomi he's got the gold already for castle just about. He just needs the food.
Yeah, he's even walling that south side, but I think
go around.
I think he just started the wall. It's going to be kind of greedy. I'm not even sure if it's finished yet.
Ooh, there's the shot hitting the Desert Raider. Doesn't quite go down. I think trying to distract JD, not let her see what's over there. Now the wall is complete. Actually, okay, there's not a path over there. I was wondering if there's a little short path next to it, but there's not.
But that's a bit of a mistake by SoldieR. He could have, at the very least, he could have idled those villagers, but now he's just going to get free food down there.
Close, yeah, almost has a path there, but not quite. Yeah, could have idled the villagers, you're right. Yeah, and now this is kind of where Joan of Arc starts feeling really bad against Ayyubids, right? Because once they get kind of situated and they're castling up, you've invested in some military, you're getting your eco upgrades, you're not really getting any XP. What do you do now? You gotta find somewhere to poke.
That's a big mistake, like not finding those fills. It means he's going to even have more sheep under his TC.
Yeah, and this is starting to look pretty okay for Mokomi right now, I'd say. I mean, sending out Desert Raiders, I love this, because the best thing to do, I feel like, against the Joan of Arc is you want to slow down those night production. You want to slow the economy down, go poke and prod the vills, because they're usually not super defended back at home.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he wants like all the knights and all his soldiers' units to stay away from his own base. Yeah.
Yeah, just buys him more time, which is all Ayyubids needs, right? When you want a timing push, you just need to buy a little bit of time. We do see the vills going on there, and it is going to be... Is that the He's taking the wood?
Yeah.
Take the industry. Okay, so he's going to go for the TC, the mosque,
Mhm.
and I guess one more thing as well. Yeah, going for the industry wing, which as of now does 800 wood and, was it 200 stone? No, it's
Yeah.
400 stone?
No, yeah, no, it's 400
400
stone.
stone,
You're right,
400
yeah.
stone, yeah. 800 wood and 400 stone.
He's gonna find these bills though.
But a good pull and a good reaction from Mokomi to keep him alive. He needs to, I wish he would short wall that side right there and kind of make it so it's, well, obviously you got to get knights out first, but a short wall there maybe to keep him out.
Yeah, he could almost just like wall the left side and just go back onto the gold. I guess makes sense because he can't really get onto these berries.
Yeah, knights just kind of hanging out there. Yeah, right there. That's exactly what I'd love to see that. Make him go around a little bit. It costs a little bit of wood, but it'd be very worth it. But he is aging up, so at this point he just needs to keep the stuff alive. Knights looking for a hit. They do actually manage to somehow tap the Desert Raider. Just kind of a little love tap that killed it. That feels kind of bad. Villager gonna try and repair that that gate, not let them in.
But yeah, what does SoldieR do from here? I mean, Mokomi's almost up, and SoldieR is not anywhere close. I mean, he's going to be okay for a bit with the Spearman, but it's going to be an issue once Mokomi gets like 10
Yeah.
10 knights out on the field.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. We do see a unit kind of creeping around the side, looking to go, if you look at the mini-map, kind of walking around that big mountain chain, looking to go get those vills eventually. Another Desert Raider coming around, trying to take care of these knights. You know, Desert Raiders feel pretty good at knights in this part of the game. Like, they have that high melee armor. It's really just the archers and the spears you're looking out for.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that one goes down,
Mokomi's
however.
being very greedy, though. Like, these villagers are going to get caught if he doesn't, like, tower a wall or something.
Yeah, we see Joan of Arc be able to kind of loop around. I really wish there'd been a wall there of some sort. Double towering the gold, however.
Yeah,
And here
look
comes
at
the
this.
knight. Yep. And there's nowhere to go. Can he wrap around that?
Oh, he tries to quick wall, but it's
Doesn't
kind of
work.
difficult.
Oh, that's tough. If he loses all these, that's going to be brutal. Oh, did he just... Nope. Oh, goodness. He's trying so hard to get that up, but it's going to be tough. He might have to sacrifice a Vill to do it.
Yeah, he should have sacrificed a Vill by himself.
They're all dead. They are all dead. That is huge. No! Oh, there goes the first one. Those knights are going to chase him all the way back into oblivion. Second town center goes up, so maybe he doesn't care, but the tempo loss you're losing on this is massive. There's number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's honestly okay, but it's definitely a mistake.
It's a
like, pretty big mistake.
Not a setback you want at this point in the game when you should be getting ahead.
And he's actually doesn't have too much sheep left.
Yeah, not a lot of food remaining. I mean, he really didn't scout a whole lot either. Barry's right there being camped on. Barry's in the back being camped on. SoldieR, despite some woes at the beginning, man, just to get all 6 of those villagers, man, you really could have. But even if he had sacrificed one, how is he going to protect the rest later, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it was just a lost cause right off the rip, but that feels bad.
Yeah, maybe Mokomi's in a pretty difficult position because, like, SoldieR has 9 knights soon and 9 spearmen. He can deal with these lancers for
a while.
Yeah, a good while.
Well, you know, I think he didn't panic when he saw the Castle Age. He's just willing to commit to feudal. And I think, honestly, when you've got French knights, you've got, you know, a couple archers, he's got that 1-1-1 comp going right now, and this will work for quite a while. I mean, even if Mokomi would try going for like Ghulams, which won't work against the knights, he has to go Camel Lancers, but the spears kind of counter that. I mean, I feel like you're just not going to get a chance to mass up with this. We do see he's looking to go get a raid on the gold, which is probably his best option right now.
Yeah, and he's going to find some damage here, which is nice.
Yeah, one Bill goes down right there. Looking for more. Not going to get any. It's going to let him run back in. They do have textiles, it looks like. Some knights kind of avoiding the skirmish out there with some more Camel Lancers and Desert Raiders.
Yeah, so the big issue is the food, and Mokomi knows it. He's building that tower there, but, I mean, SoldieR has enough to dive that tower, right?
Yeah.
So, and he might even lose these 5 bills.
Yeah, he might. Mokomi's sending what he can. Doesn't really knows he can't take the engagement. Looking to see what he can do. Thankfully, it's just enough to spook Mokomi back.
Yeah, these spearmen aren't quite here. Enough of them aren't quite here yet.
Yeah, just a bunch of archers kind of out there. But now the main mass coming in. Yeah, and that's going to be a problem. Meanwhile, some more fighting happening over on the other side of the map. The gold getting raided by that Camel Lancer.
He needs to get out of here. Like,
oh, yeah, he needs to run.
Okay, yeah.
I'd cancel that mill, too. This is a big mass from SoldieR. I'm getting a little spooked from Mokomi here. I don't know if he's got a good answer for this. Those Camel Lancers are expensive, and he doesn't have the food to keep them up.
Oh, he's even losing a Lancer here.
Ah, it feels bad. There's more XP for Joan of Arc. She's still not super close to H3, but SoldieR might not even need it at this point. And we see another Camel Lancer getting surrounded and destroyed. More XP for Joan of Arc. Yeah, there goes that tower slowly but surely. Man, you know, Mokomi could go back on those back berries if he would just do a little sidewall, get back on there. But right now I'm seeing soldiers send a couple more units kind of down that way as well, trying to scout it out and see if there's anything back there. Yeah, Knight came back over there. There was a moment where Mokomi could have reclaimed those, I think.
Yeah. And, I mean, what does he do? Does he build farms? Like, that doesn't feel good.
Doesn't feel good either. You're sitting on 400 wood, though.
And he's completely out of food. He might just be dead.
Yeah, I don't, unless he can secure food somehow. He's got a couple farms, it's kind of all he has left. He's got 2 town centers, but he just can't stabilize. Military numbers 43-6. This game is starting to look over. Soldier with just a critical mass of knights, archers behind it. And Camel Lancers, I'm surprised that Mokomi even has any kind of military.
Yeah, and
out
Soldier's
right
doing a fantastic job of just like completely constricting him of this food resources. Like,
yeah, some more hits there. Mokomi's gonna be able to clean this up at least, but the damage feels like it's already been done, right?
and that's another issue if you go this industry wing, is if you can build that second TC, but you don't have the food income to produce the villas
Or
and
the map
units.
control even.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
That's, yeah, I definitely feel like maybe just the extra villas would have been better here in this instance. Just take the eco upgrade, send them out, but then get on wood, build some production, get some units out, because this critical mass is starting to look really dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, he keeps losing camo answers as well. Like, JD might be level 3 almost in a second here.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close up there. Man, there's just so many knights, and they're on every single food source. There's nowhere for Mokomi to go. The only place he could go, really, is in the very far east. Maybe sneak a bunch of villas onto that deer pack way out there.
When you're in a position like this, you might have to take chances like that, for sure.
Yeah, and this deer pack's just way too exposed and also still too close to the main town center. It's just too easy for soldiers to wrap around. He really should have maybe just snuck out onto that deer pack.
And Soldier's just diving the base here. He knows that, like, he's got enough to just kill everything. I mean,
yeah. We do have a raid happening on the other side. I like that Mokomi's trying to poke and prod on the other side. The problem is you're idling 37 of your 38 villas. Now, 15 idle for Soldier, but you're on 2 town centers and you're behind in your go. Yeah, I don't know how he gets back into this without being able to sneak out on other food. And he's getting 600 a minute. The farm's just starting to kick in, but it's just not enough. He just won't ever have a chance to mass. That double wall's kind of frustrating to deal with, though. I mean, if Soldier decides to start making rams, the game's over. And there's a heal from Joan of Arc, so...
Yeah, but it's 5,200 armor value versus 620. Like, I mean...
the game's kind of over. He could just dive this fortune down. And there's GG called. That will be it for Mokomi here, as Soldier is going to be moving on. You see him kind of sighing in relief, too. He was a little bit worried about that matchup, and a good effort from Mokomi to extend the series. And that will be it for our series.
Yeah, those were some long games as well. There was 2 40-minute games, I think.
Yeah, a long series there. Soldier standing up, stretching those legs. Always feels good to stand up after that one. Man, what a series. You know, this was kind of a wild one, too. Kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I think Mokomi had chances to win this, other than the last game. That game actually ended pretty quick.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah, that Japanese French on Baltic was a really interesting game. To his credit, he was able to close out the last game eventually. And then this one, though, was pretty rough. You can see the military value. Like, Desert Raiders helping a bit, but then just the massive feudal all-in there end up doing it in. Yeah, I feel like Industry Wing would be good, but maybe not against a Civ that has so much feudal aggression. Ooh. Well, first of all, Soldier, congratulations on a well-fought series there.
Thank you.
Moving on, that's got to feel good, huh?
Man.
That last matchup was rough. I want to talk about the drafts first of all. So the first water map, really, of the tournament was that Baltic game.
Yeah.
And you used English on the very first game, and that was probably your best water Civ.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I've played water so little lately that I didn't want to use what I felt is like the best. Maybe I'm giving away my my preferences, but I think they're the best Civ in the game. So yeah, I didn't want to give them away in like a potential loss. So yeah, the draft, I was just thinking, I thought he probably wanted to go Ruse, but there's some decent options on Baltic, like Japan.
Japan was a good choice for him. And that, we saw the first after the English tower rush. I mean, you did him dirty there to begin with.
Dude, I was like, okay, wait, he's setting up his military.
When did you decide to do that?
When I saw that he just made a few spearmen, and I'm like, well, okay, he's probably going for like a semi-fast castle, and English villagers can take 5 spearmen pretty easily. Yeah. So I was like, you know what, like, there's an opportunity here.
It felt kind of like when a dog catches a car. You didn't really know what to do. You had the tower up, and you kind of like, well, now what? You kind of missed back at a moment there.
Well, I took like almost all my bills.
Like everything. It was like 28 some odd bills.
Yeah, so I was able to grab some gold, and then the deer were pretty close by, so I started grabbing relics.
Got all the relics. The wall. I think what you really wanted that one. I mean, the White Tower was great, but then walling him in like that was so good.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah. It was. I felt like that. That's happened to me before. The White Tower rush like that.
Happened to everybody, right?
Yeah, and it's like you don't really think about that too much in your game plan, but if you're going for like a slower H3 and kind of going like a little bit more economic focus, you open yourself up for that. So I'm just glad I thought about it in the moment.
Yeah, but I did that to him, and then we're like, okay, well now that opens up the draft at least. That was a really good chance for Mokomi to take a game on water, and then you're on water. It's a crazy game on the water, back and forth, as it always is on Baltic, right?
Yeah,
But then you go 3 TCs behind that.
Yeah, because I played AOM a lot back in the day, and there's a map called Mediterranean. It's just like that.
Very much like it, yeah.
It basically the only way you can get, and even Age of Empires Online, like very common map type in the franchise. And yeah, for the most part, if you want to get back into the game, you just got to go crazy eco boom and hope that your opponent doesn't, if they really do have water in full control, hope they don't make like 30 fishing boats. And it seemed like, I don't know how many he did have,
he had
but
quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think the problem was I don't think he realized how much eco you had on land. I mean, because he had no way of scouting, right? Because you walled in, you kind of held the ground, and that game went really long. That was one that was like, woo. Yeah, and then the turnaround, and then I think the next game going in as Byzantines, man, those cisterns. Can we talk about? You were having some struggle, my friend.
They wouldn't finish. I've always had trouble. Like, is it connected? Does it need one more? And then he destroyed the
center one.
Oh, and then I don't like that map for long games. Especially I guess I didn't realize it until right now. But like Civs that have Culverin available, it have a huge advantage on.
Yeah.
Because you really can't do much at all.
No, not at all. And you stuck in that game a lot longer. I mean, your initial aggression. I mean, to Mokomi's credit, he held really well initially there. Was able to poke and prod to get you back in. But then there was a moment where he went was massing up and getting in, and then you pushed in. You actually had him a little bit there. It was getting kind of scary.
Oh yeah, and I pulled back.
Yeah, but you pulled back a little bit. It felt like both of you guys were kind of unsure how to finish that game out.
Because I think he was rating me at the time, and I wasn't sure exactly how many men-at-arms type units, the Varangian guards. I don't know how many I had, so I don't know exactly how tanky it was. I don't even think I had the first Pierce armor upgrade, so. I was like, well, I don't want to lose some valuable units there, and I want to straighten out my eco. So but
hey, I mean, you dropped the game. Then right after that, we were like, whoa, this might go the distance because drawing JD against Ayyubids could not have to be pretty terrifying, right? I mean, you gotta feel like
I do like that map. Learning that map more now just this weekend, how many boars are on there.
Yeah, and that was my thought. Is that what kind of influenced your decision to go for JD?
For sure. And my civ pool was not that great for me at that point.
Had Delhi and Malians in the pocket still, and it's like he's got Mongols out there still, and he's got.
I messed up in the draft. I should have took Mongols, and as soon as I picked French, I was like, wow, okay, that should have been Mongols. But I guess I ended up winning with French, so it worked out.
It worked out pretty well. Yeah, that was not what I would have expected as a win. You kind of flipped the script on a lot of those. I really thought you'd win that Cliffside game, but I didn't know if you'd win the Baltic game, and then that Ayyubids game. I mean, man, you pressured being dedicated to the feudal game, those knights, that really spiraled. I mean, that just looked so dominant.
Yeah, the main decision in that, and I was pretty nervous about it. Even as the start of the game was going, I didn't make up my mind whether I was going to go JD Man-at-Arms or the Archer.
I think the Archer was a really good choice there.
Yeah, because those Desert Raiders are pretty strong and really hurt the knights, but and they can just run. They can just cut you all day and make you chase them around. So I was
a scary Archer pushes them back.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good choice.
Yeah, that side mill he had. Well, I guess I pushed him off the front one, so he had to do something else.
I was surprised he didn't do a short wall to the TC right there, or to kind of make that more difficult.
That's what he said after the game. Yeah, if he just walled,
that would have been maybe a tower. Or later as you were starting to really make it difficult. I was like, he was on that deer out there as well. There was another one on the Wi-Fi. He had gone in the background, maybe gone out on the very edge. Maybe he could have snuck that in, but no. I mean, just massing the knights was so good.
Yeah, the map you can be sneaky on it for sure because there's a boar on. I think. The outside.
No, he couldn't have taken. Oh yeah,
he's a right. But there
were deer. There were deer and some other berries he could have taken. So I'll wrap up with one last question for you. What's been your favorite part about Denver so far?
Just the whole environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like dude, It's really sweaty up there.
I'm kind of warm right now. Actually, it's warming up a little bit. I need to go get in front of the AC.
It's hot up there, but when you're playing, my heart was beating out of my chest. When I brought all those bills in the English game for that,
Oh my
I was
gosh,
like
that
pretty
was
sure
so-
it was going to work.
The realization
like-
me and Puppy had were like, no way, he's doing it in this tournament. Like,
Yeah.
the chat. I was looking back afterwards in the next game, and the chat was really, really funny. But that was an awesome play. That was a highlight. My bingo card's getting filled out with that one.
Yeah,
So.
that's, wow.
Well, congratulations again, and good luck in your future games. It's been an absolute
Yeah.
pleasure, and I look forward to seeing your next
Thank
games.
you. Shout out my girlfriend and my dog, Journey. Love you, buddy.